Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 62nd edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live College Show from yours truly, Jackson Johnson and Jeffrey at On Talk Sports. As Jeffrey is feeling better, his voice is healing, folks. He's back. He is back from his sickness, and he has come to save the day. And let me tell you something, folks, you're going to be in for a wild ride as we're going over our take on this 2026 schedule, of what it looks like for us. Should we worry about Caleb DeBoer? I mean, at least we don't have to worry about him doing the mess around, that's for sure. He's not going to act like Frosty Snowman, unlike Michigan's other coach, of course. But I can tell you, it's going to be a good time for a long time on this Thursday night, all right here on Alabama Voice College Football with all of you. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing great, Jackson. Getting better, trying to get back to 100%. Not all the way back there yet, but definitely hated to miss the last few shows. Hated to not have the legendary Saturday night stream after the game. You talk about the game, right? Yeah, Indiana, Ohio State was the game, and that was amazing. And Alabama making the college football playoff was also amazing. You didn't get to talk about that. And Sharon Moore, gone. Didn't get to talk about that. We'll get to all of that stuff. I want to talk about it all, for sure. And definitely, me and Will and D, we want to talk about that stuff too. So hopefully we'll see a show from us soon. But yes, definitely glad to be back on Alabama, the voice of college football. Definitely, if you enjoy the show and you're an Alabama fan or not, definitely hope you tell others about it. It's, definitely we got a lot of great stuff coming down the pike for sure. If we have the catastrophic news of DeBoer going to Michigan, we'll probably be live for that. But if that happens, we've entered an alternate universe at this point, because you're seeing people like, oh, DeBoer's going to go to Michigan, and then Alabama's going to get Lane Kiffin, and I'm like, Lane Kiffin just got the LSU job. What is wrong, man? Like, come on, no, not happening.
I don't.
DeBoer should stay right here. He should stay right here, in
I don't
where
want
I'm at,
Lane,
but Tuscaloosa.
Oh my! I don't want Lane Kiffin coming over Bama, because I mean that stuff is like that. That's the same as Sharon Moore, where he's just doing the mess around in the back room. So it's
the thing is, Jackson, that's so bad about that is the fact that Sharon Moore gets fired after they lose to Ohio State and after signing day.
That is bad.
I mean, I don't care how you want to spin that. That ain't good. Because, I mean, like, I asked a legitimate question on X. Twitter, whatever, I won't keep referencing that it's still Twitter, because a lot of people are like, oh, everybody's calling it X now. They finally changed it. Twitter, but X, whatever. That platform. I asked people, I said, honest question. Do you think Michigan fires Sharon Moore if they beat Ohio State again?
No.
And I mean, if you think the answer is yes, then you don't understand. You just don't get it. I'm sorry that I'm one of those people that believe, what some people don't want to believe, but they fired him because they lost. And because they could tell things weren't going very well. So they were like, yeah, let's pull the plug.
The hard truths from you are like Batman telling Harley Quinn, hey, the Joker's not it for you. He's not it for you.
I know about this whole story being. I've read the whole story. It's bad. But the thing is, I'm just saying that if Sharon Moore was undefeated or had beaten Ohio State again, or he was doing better, there's a really, really, really good chance they wouldn't have fired him, that this would have gotten covered up. There's a really good chance of that.
Oh, I'd have fired him.
Look at Georgia's program. I'm not saying anything about Kirby Smart himself, but that program's messed up, man. All the DUIs, all the problems. It's not getting better. And you see what's going on with Georgia. Kirby Smart's fine. He'll never get in trouble, violations, none of that stuff. That's all I'm saying. I just think that Michigan, because They knew Sherrone Moore wasn't going anywhere. This was a convenient out for them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's all I'm saying. Like, I would like to believe that they would have fired him anyway, which they should have fired him anyway. With what just happened, they should have fired him regardless if he was 12-0. But how many coaches that are 12-0 get fired for stuff like this?
They don't. Unless it's like really, really, really bad, then you're right. Okay.
I mean, to me, it's just a really bad look for Michigan in
Because
general.
if it was like
Michigan's already had the problem with the sign thing, that the little baby hammer, but then this now. I mean, you got Portnoy being on there being like, oh, well, Michigan did the right thing, and I'm like, yeah, they did, but they conveniently waited till after signing day, and they conveniently waited till Sherrone Moore lost to Ohio State.
I don't think Portnoy ever knows when to shut his mouth, honestly.
Dude, Portnoy made about 500 takes that day that he got fired that were just insane. Like, I literally could not even believe some of the stuff that he was writing. It was honestly unreal. I'm like, the amount of satire there, like, man.
But
like, if he actually believes some of the stuff he wrote, man.
I think
what did he write? He wrote some crazy stuff the other night.
Oh, about the
let me try to go back and find it, because some of this stuff was hilarious.
Yeah, let's have our first caller tonight, Godfather, join us, man. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Yeah, here's one. Here's one right here. Here's one right here. I'm sorry. I know we gotta talk about Bama. We will, but this is just too funny. Look at this. This dude wrote, I'll say this. This is the difference between Michigan and Ohio State. We beat Ohio 50 years in a row, and they just say, gosh, shucks, we'll get them next year. They beat us once. Coach not only is fired, but arrested. At Michigan, it's natties or jail.
Can't stand.
Like, are you serious right now? You actually wrote that?
I mean, this is the same guy that called his co-host a bald fuck because he got in a huge disagreement with him over non-sports takes. So
yeah, I don't know. There was some other takes, but I'll just leave it at that one because they get more bizarre.
Like Portnoy is that guy that he can dish it out, but he can't take it. He can make fun of you. He could say whatever he feels.
Did you see when dude was on there and he was saying, "Oh, I'm not at the Big Ten championship game, even though I would like to be at the."
God,
what?
Well,
dude,
luckily,
you literally are employed by Fox, kind of, or you got this partnership thing going on. Shouldn't you be there?
Oh man,
right? Shouldn't he have been? I don't know. I mean, maybe contractually he doesn't have to be. I don't know, but I just thought it was hilarious. Dude's like, I'd love to be there, but I can't be there.
Oh,
okay.
Well, luckily, our boss can't stand Portnoy either. So
I mean, it's like you got Jamison talking. It's because Michigan. All I'm saying is that it's really convenient. That's all I'm saying. I would like to believe that Michigan would have fired him regardless. If Sherrone Moore was coming off a national championship, and they still would have fired him, I don't know, man. I don't think so.
There we go.
Again, I could be wrong. I want to be wrong, but I don't
know. So it's like this was a post from last week where Portnoy was saying, my experience with Ohio State and the Ryan Day era is you punch them in the mouth, they cry and go home. We shall see. They're getting bullied right now. And our guy Mark Rogers says, you can't be this stupid. It's not possible.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think some of the takes Portnoy's saying is just satire. I really do. But it also worries me that he might actually believe some of that. Because if he does, then that's insane. Those takes were terrible.
I think he's had a little too much of the booze or too much of that crap he's taken in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, to spin it back to Bama, I mean, so Michigan's saying DeBoer. It's all in on DeBoer. And I'm like, why are we doing this? I mean, if we're at the point where the Alabama football coach leaves for the Michigan head football job just because Michigan's has the third or second richest dude in the world as a donor, then I mean, what are we doing anymore? What are we doing? Like, I love college football. Again, I've said this multiple times on previous shows. I love college football. I'm going to keep watching college football. But this is bad.
That
This
Larry
is a joke.
Ellison.
Nobody cares about that guy
That
donating.
Larry Ellison guy thinks that where it's like, oh, I could buy Warner Brothers. Surely I could buy Kalen DeBoer. It's like, yeah, you're not, bro. You're not buying Kalen DeBoer.
I mean, there are Michigan fans saying, let's get Curt Cignetti. Why?
God.
Everyone, like, oh, Curt Cignetti's going to go to Penn State. Curt Cignetti's going to go to Michigan. Curt Cignetti's going to go to the NFL. Why are you so obsessed with a guy that 2 years ago you didn't even care about? It's because he's winning at Indiana, and you don't want Indiana to win anymore. Clearly, that's all it's about. So, yeah, I mean, that Cignetti got a raise at Indiana just because of that. Matt Rule got that terrible extension at Nebraska for that. He didn't even deserve one. So, yeah, DeBoer probably will get a raise. I mean, all these raises are just asinine. We should not be having all these bidding wars for coaches and these bidding wars for players that are getting out of control. I mean, Alabama should not be worried about their head coach leaving unless it's for the NFL at the very least. And even then, not really. But you're trying to tell me that that's a possibility that, hey, Michigan can just take DeBoer from Alabama. Alabama's not Ole Miss. As much as I defended Lane to Ole Miss, which I still think he should have stayed at Ole Miss, but he left, whatever. Everybody that said he was going to go to LSU, congratulations. But the thing is that Alabama's not Ole Miss. It would be insane for Alabama to lose their head football coach to Michigan. I'm sorry. I don't care how much of a Michigan fan you are. That is just sad. That is insane. Alabama is a better program than Michigan. I don't care if Michigan has more all-time wins. I don't even care. We have a better football program than Michigan.
Yeah.
And you're telling me we're going to lose our coach just
and
because
we don't need Larry Ellison. We don't care that you can buy Warner. We don't care that you can buy Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. The hell with that. The hell with the fact that you can buy Cartoon Network. We got Alabama football. You got like a dying cable network. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, Larry. Nobody cares. Nobody's sitting there thinking about, oh, Popeye the Sailor owns Bugs Bunny. No, nobody cares. No. Nobody cares, Larry. No. You're not buying our coach. You're not getting our coach to leave Alabama for Michigan. Not happening. That's just not happening. Godfather, how you did tonight, good buddy? Your sound's off. Yeah, there it is. There you are.
We was talking before the show. There's a lot to unpack tonight. This playoff system and the coaching carousel, and I just make everybody mad to start with. We just need 130 team playoff system, and if we had that, somebody'd be bitching and raising hell.
Yeah. The funny thing about it is that there'll be people out there trying to make an argument. The 130th team in college football can win the national title.
Yeah, somebody'd be crying. They'd be crying about it if we had a 130 team playoff. I mean, yeah, if we go to 16 team playoff, Notre Dame would have gotten in. There would have been no way they couldn't have been left out. I mean, you got 4 more teams.
No matter how much you expand the playoffs, they are always going to complain about the next couple teams that didn't get in. It's just the way that it is. They do the same thing in March Madness. They complain about teams in March Madness that don't make the tournament. Oh, my gosh, this team should have got in, which sometimes there is a valid case for a team. Like I think West Virginia should have made the tournament last year in college basketball over a couple of the teams that got in. They were a team that everyone thought was going to get into the tournament. Every bracketologist had them in. But the point is, there's always going to be arguments, no matter how much it is expanded. So you're wasting your time. All these people that are saying, oh, you get to 16, that's the perfect number. You get to 24, it's the perfect number. You're still going to be complaining about the 17th team that didn't get in, or the 25th team that didn't get in. So why are you expanding it? Just admit it's about money. I think it'd make everybody feel better if we just admit that, instead of trying to disguise it under the guise of, oh, We can't leave these national championship contenders. I mean, was college football just in deep water, just deep crap, whatever you want to call it, when we had the BCS? Was it that bad? No. People still watched it. People still loved it. The tradition was probably even better than it is right now. People are doing just fine that they did not win a national title. Who cares? Like, if you don't win a national title, take your Citrus Bowl win. Like, why does it have to be where every team has to have a shot to win a national championship when in reality, only 5 or 6 teams every year have a shot to win a national championship? That's just the way that it is. This ain't college basketball.
Jeffrey, hold on to that comment for a sec because we've got a $9.99 super chat from Yale 60H. As he says, just got in here. Bama wins. Fats and simple. Roll Tide Roll. We appreciate the super chat contribution from Yale 60H. All right here on Alabama, the voice of college football. If you can't be able to put in a super chat contribution or become a YouTube member of Alabama, the voice of college football, no worries whatsoever. That's why you see the ticker down below to like, comment, subscribe, share this episode out, share each of the episodes of Alabama, the voice of college football, and click on the notification bells so you never miss another video whatsoever. And we got a comment from B Jammin RMFT saying, I love this channel. I love Jeffrey's passion and sports knowledge at his age. Man, man. We'll have to tell you about the bat story. Jeffrey and I meeting one of these days for sure. It's a fun story.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Jammin. I love talking about this stuff. It is so much fun. I missed it last week, missed it on Monday. Yeah, there's been so much going on in college football right now. Like with all, the playoff and who got in, who didn't, the coaching carousel. There's just so much stuff to talk about. Yes, it is such a great feeling, Steven. I literally couldn't even talk on Saturday. I couldn't even talk. My voice was gone. I'm watching the game. I'm silently going, yes. Like it was like, man, what a game. Yeah, it is crazy, man. That was one of the best games of all time, man. Indiana, Ohio State. And I had so many people tell me it was a boring game. I had even people just in my life telling me that game was boring. And I'm like, what is wrong with you, man? Indiana beat Ohio State for the first time since the 80s, and you're telling me it was a boring game? Well, come on, man. Yeah, no. It was a great game. I appreciate it, Steven. I don't know. That's one of my all-time favorite sports moments, man. Up there with nothing will beat Tua though. Throwing it to Devontae Smith. That was incredible. But the IU went over Ohio State, man. That's up there. It's pretty up there, man. That was great. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys, man, in the chat. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back though. Hopefully I'll be able to
I'll be right back. I'm handing it. I'm handing the keys to Jeffrey for a little bit. Just gonna let him babysit for a few minutes or so.
All right. Hopefully Jackson's not gone too long, but appreciate that, Jackson. So what are your thoughts though, Godfather, on Kalen DeBoer? Like with Alabama, its fan base, and how things have gone the first 2 seasons, and all this Michigan rumors. How are you feeling about Kalen DeBoer?
I mean, I don't think Kalen DeBoer's leaving Alabama. I mean, I think really what kept Alabama in the playoff, while I had it on my mind, was the first of the season win beating Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really helped Alabama losing.
I'll be back. My babysitting duties for my grandfather are done for the night, but I will be back in the office just a little bit.
You're good, Jackson.
I mean, it's the Kalen DeBoer. I don't think Kalen DeBoer is going to Michigan. I mean, I put a lot of stuff up on my Facebook page. That was DeBoer and Nick Saban are kind of. I mean, Nick went to the SEC championship game his second year, and he lost to Florida. Of course, we lost to Florida, however you want to say it. but he won his third year. So DeBoer's went to the SEC championship his second year. Does he win or does he lose? He lost. All right. So, Nick Saban lost.
Mm.
So, we get into playoffs. I mean, are we going to get some of these guys back by next Friday night? I don't know. I mean, there's so, like you said, there's so much going around rumor mill. This guy's, you get, it's his ankle. No, it's a broke foot, or tied in. Then Jam Miller. I don't really know what they've said about him. Uh, there's just so much stuff going on. DeBoer is, I think he's doing the best he can right now. I mean, Georgia was beat up too,
Mm.
but I mean, Georgia let Alabama have it. I mean, whether you like it or not, I mean, I kind of, what are we now? 9-2. We've won 9-2. They beat us, I think, 9. We've played 11 times. We've won 9. They
Mm.
won 2. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
right.
I mean, Kirby knows. I mean, it's not hard to figure out an offense when it can't do anything. It can't run or pass. I mean, Alabama couldn't do anything against Georgia. They couldn't run or pass. But Georgia,
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I mean, y'all can lay it out better than I can. It's just sometimes you just have to take a ass whipping. It
Mm.
it happens. I mean, I hate to see it happen, but I mean, it's happened. It happened to Coach Saban too. Or how quickly we forget. How quickly, like I always said, we forget. How quick Nick lost some games that, when he wasn't supposed to lose either, but he did.
Mm.
So I mean, Coach Bryant did. All of them did. So I mean, we just got to get in the playoff, and do the best they can, and go to Oklahoma. Can Oklahoma beat Alabama 2 times in one season? We'll see. But this is getting. Then I'll let you have it, Jeffrey. We're playing Oklahoma twice.
Mm.
We possibly did it down around. I don't think the way the bracket is, Alabama and Georgia's not playing again,
Mm.
right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Very unlikely.
No, and I mean, it's been a long time since you saw teams,
Mm.
play 2 or 3 times. Alabama's played Florida twice, played them twice in '99, beat them both times, and
Mm.
and don't further back in history. But I mean, what I'm worried about is what about the information on our offensive line coach? Is he gone? Is he fired? Is he still at Alabama? Or does anybody know?
I know we lost one of our coaches to Oregon State. Was that that was the O-line coach, right?
No,
Uh,
that was the wide
wide
coach.
receivers coach. Yeah, that's it. There's been a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to remember everything. Yeah, that was the wide receivers coach. You're right.
Yeah.
O-line coach. I'm not sure on that. If Jackson gets back, he can update on that one. I haven't seen everything the last week. I've seen a lot of it, but I haven't seen everything. I've missed some stuff. But I think that I think there's a lot of question marks with our entire team, though. With the O-line coach, our entire players, the whole team. I mean, because like the problem that it's like it's common sense. Like everybody knows this, but Nick Saban revamped or revitalized Alabama. We were struggling when he took over, and he made us a juggernaut again. DeBoer's taking over the juggernaut. That's why everything he does is getting criticized. Plus, we live in this era now where even schools that you wouldn't think like, hey, they're a team that would give a coach plenty of time to figure out. There's teams that aren't even that good are firing coaches after 2-3 seasons. They're all doing it. Like, it is unreal. They're all doing it. I mean, Mississippi State fired that Arnett guy after 1 year. Like, they gave the dude 1 year. So literally, there's not a lot of leeway when it comes to coaches anymore. That's why, like, DeBoer's record is good. So far, like, he's done well at Alabama. It's not like he's done bad, but yet all the consensus is that, oh, well, the Alabama fan base is not good. He's on shaky ground. He should bolt to Penn State or Michigan or something or whatever. It's just ridiculous. It's just a different era. And
Well,
with us being Alabama, it makes it worse. Because we're that dominant program, it's always supposed to win. So the expectations for him are ridiculous. That outside of winning a national title, he's falling short. That is just flat out. And they've made it harder to win a national championship. I mean, used to you had to win a national championship game. You had to win in a 14 playoff. Yeah, it might be easier to make the playoffs now to win a national championship, but now you got to win more games to win a national championship. You're going to start seeing coaches get fired for losing in the first round of the playoff. So making the playoffs not going to be good enough. You're making it impossible for these coaches to not get fired. That's why I think it's ridiculous that these teams are giving these massive contracts. Instead of giving Lane Kiffin and some of these other coaches 9 and 8 and 10-year deals, maybe they should have 3-year contracts for 10 something million a year. Because you're wasting your time giving this dude an 8-year deal when you're going to fire him after 3.
well, yeah, they cry about money, and you look at Auburn and all these teams that opted out. Auburn had a chance to get a bowl because Notre Dame opted out. It throwed them up somehow into there, and they cry about they can't pay their coaches, but they took a $500,000 fine from the SEC for not going to play in the bowl game. $500,000. I mean, there's just the money is. It looks like to me it's just an endless money supply.
It's corrupted the entire sport.
It has.
I mean, that's what it does. Like, people all say, money is the root of all evil. It's like, well, money's not evil unless it becomes an obsessive thing. If money, it's like with anything. People get mad about tons of stuff, right? Oh, this, oh, that. It's like nothing is bad unless it is used. Like a gun is harmless if it's just sitting there. It doesn't do anything when it just sits there. But then someone uses a gun and shoots somebody, then it's a problem, right? Money is just sitting on a desk. It doesn't do anything. But when you start using it and you start dishing it out, then it becomes problematic. I mean, it's just I like that's again is a common sense thing, but a lot of people don't understand that anymore. It's just basic logic, right? Money is not bad, but when people become obsessed by it, when that is the only focus, football, like NFL, all these major sports, and even collegiate sports, it's been about making money for a long time. I mean, you have to function to exist as an organization or a company. You have to make money, yes. But when now it is the main focus, and it is the main focus when it comes to every aspect of the sport now, you see these results. That's why things are not being done the way we want them as fans. As fans, we want the bowl games to matter. As fans, we want these rivalry games to continue and these conferences to stay the way they were before, not have all this crappy realignment and all this nonsense. And a lot of people don't want the expansion of the playoffs, but they're doing all of this because it makes more money. USC, Oklahoma, Texas, all these teams moved conferences because of money. They opened up the portal, the NIL money. It's just generating more revenue. These TV deals are all about money. Larry Ellison. I mean, the fact that we're talking about the LSU governor and people like Larry Ellison in the sport of college football, and yet you've got people still trying to talk about amateurism. What are we even doing at this point? If you mention the word amateurism in the same sentence as college football in 2025, you are way off, man. You went off on some exit route a long time ago and got lost, and you're now in a whole new world. This is not the same sport when I was a kid. It's not the same sport. It's changed. I mean, I cannot believe you've got the Supreme Court involved with some of this stuff in college sports. You've got governors. It has gone off the deep end, and it sucks. A lot of it sucks, and we can complain about it. And I do a lot of it. I complain about it, but it's not getting any better. It's not.
And so we don't have anybody to govern anything anymore. The NCAA can't do nothing. I mean, what they do is ridiculous. I mean, they used to have a little stroke, but they have nothing now. I mean, there's just so you turn it, you take it out of the hands of the NCAA and the colleges, and you give it to the politicians. Really? Oh my word! They got enough problems. They can't solve the problems they got now.
Yeah.
We certainly didn't need to be in the hands of the politicians in Washington, D.C. We can't even pass a bill. We can't even pass a damn budget in this country. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm not going to get started on politics.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
It's all.
definitely. I do try to keep them separate. Like church and state, keep it separate. But a lot of it is it's bleeding its way in. Like you can't help but reference it at the very least. I mean, like I don't care about the LSU governor being involved with LSU, but you bring it up because it occurred. It happened. It's like, why did it happen? It just should have not happened, but it did. And it's crazy. I mean, the thing is, like, you talk about, like, NIL, and you're like, oh, you shouldn't be against players making NIL. I'm not necessarily against players making NIL. It's not about that. It's just that the original basis for what NIL was supposed to be, name, image, and likeness. I love how we don't call it that anymore. It's just NIL. It's just this big money pool of it, because like the first year they were trying to be like, okay, name, image, and likeness. You're going to profit off your name. You're going to profit off your image and your likeness. So just say I'm a famous basketball player or football player at Alabama or Indiana or something, and I'm doing great. I make more than the walk-on the bench because of the fact I'm famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a great player, so people are going to buy my T-shirts, and people are going to watch my podcast if I make one, and stuff like that. That was the original intent of it. And spoiler alert, people, I'm not a good athlete at all. It's just hypothetical. But the point is that it became about, okay, instead of that, people like Larry Ellison can just fund an entire university. Just pay for the coach, pay for the entire team, pay for all their NIL. That's not what name, image, and likeness was supposed to be. And we all had a good feeling that if they implemented name, image, and likeness, it was going to go down this rabbit hole. I don't think anybody, including myself, thought it was going to be this insane this fast. I mean, again, Bryce Underwood getting $10 million to go play for Michigan when he's never played a collegiate snap is a problem. You haven't earned that. If he was a senior and he was the best quarterback in college football, you can make a case for that. But how can you make a case for that when he's a guy who hasn't even proven it at any level?
I think that's your problem a little bit with Ryan Williams too. I don't know, that may not be the whole problem, but he stepped right out of high school and stepped right into college. And he put a show on last year, and he's missed some catches this year, and he's been on the sideline standing. Maybe they're trying to drill something into his head. I mean, I don't know, but he's making this money, and uh, I don't know. I don't know the young man. I mean, I know where he came from, Saraland, Alabama. I've stayed in Saraland, Alabama when I worked at Berry Steam Plant. I know right where it's at, and but he just seems like sometimes he just don't want to. He just don't want to play. I mean, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe I'm seeing something different than what everybody else is. If I am, maybe somebody stop me and tell me, "Shut up! You're making a fool out of yourself." But I don't know. It just we certainly need him to. I don't know if he's injured. I mean, Coach DeBoer hasn't said anything about an injury with him. Of course, he don't have to say anything. That's. But he sure, if he could turn the switch back on, we sure need him against Oklahoma. The way I see it, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'm kind of worried about the young man myself.
I am too. I mean, like you said, I don't know him personally at all. I don't know any of them personally, but I mean, there's something there. I think something else is really interesting too, especially when it comes to Alabama, is that whenever one of our players is struggling, then it always defaults to their hurt. I remember Milroe last year when he wasn't playing very well. Like in the middle of the season, it's like, oh, Milroe's hurt. Yeah, but then he's running for 200 plus yards against LSU, and I'm like, he doesn't really hurt to me. I mean, he might be hurt a little bit, but everybody's kind of dinged up late in the year, right?
Oh
I mean,
my
my point
gosh.
is like when it comes to Alabama, it's like we make a lot of excuses. A lot of teams make excuses. They do. A lot of fans make excuses, but, oh, Ryan Williams, he's hurt. Ty Simpson's hurt. That's why they might be. But if you're hurt, then you shouldn't be able to play.
Right.
Like, why can Ryan Williams go out there and make a 35, 40-yard reception one play, and then he just disappears the rest of the game? That's not hurt. You can't make a play like that at all if you are hurt. So why are we making these excuses? It's either we're not playing him because it's a coach's decision, or we're not playing him because he's hurt. You can't just have it. You know what I'm saying? We're just stuck in this middle ground where it's like we don't know what's going on at all. And yes, like you said, as fans, we don't have to know exactly what's going on. But the problem is that now that college football is becoming more like the NFL, where it's all about money, and it's all about people betting, and it's all about all this kind of stuff, and these players are making millions of dollars a year, we kind of should know.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, what did I miss? I just did some running from grandparents' house to here back in the office.
But see, the thing is, and that's amazing that you got back here that fast, Jackson. But the thing is like this statement right here. I would have 5-10 years ago agreed that, hey, he's young, we shouldn't be prying, all that stuff. But when you're paying these players millions of dollars a year, you lose that. I'm sorry. You lose that right.
Yeah.
We should know, hey, is Ryan Williams not playing because of X, Y, or Z? We should know. This is not 2010 where even if they were paying under the table, it was $5,000. They're making millions out here, these star players. They got major NIL deals. I've read reports that Cooper Flagg in his 1 year at Duke made $30 million plus in NIL deals. No. They're adults. They're getting paid this money. That's not how that works anymore. If you want the amateurism back, then stop these massive NIL deals. Stop all this. Stop making college football like the NFL. Yes, Ryan Williams is young. I'm young. I'm only a year older than Ryan Williams, or 2 years, or whatever. But the thing is that you've lost that right to make that case for these players being young, and when you're paying them more money than some CEOs of small businesses. These people are making tons of money a year, and people are betting on this stuff. People are profiting off this stuff. Again, you've changed college football for the worse. You got to deal with the consequences, and babying these dudes and like, I don't know what's going on with Ryan Williams, and I hope he's okay. But this mental illness stuff that's going on too, a lot of it is drawn back to this money, because they don't know what to do with themselves once they get the money. A lot of these players don't. They just get all this money. And it's like, holy crap, I got all this money. That's also a problem. There needs to be more, and some universities are doing this. This is good. There needs to be more of an effort and a push to say, hey, we're gonna like have these kids, these students, learn a lot of like economics type stuff, how to manage your money, how to deal with having money, like invest it, don't blow it all. You know, like you see these dudes buying Lamborghinis at Georgia, and then they're getting DUIs and stuff. It's just problematic. I'm not trying to make people mad. It's just this stuff is a problem, and nobody's talking about it because you're like, oh my gosh, my team won this game. That's great. But it's a problem, Georgia, when you've got half of your team committing crimes all the time. That's a problem. They need to be taught good stuff here. Like, hey, you're getting this money, but how you use it right. Don't blow it. Still live like a good citizen. I know you're young. The problem is back like in the hippie era, back in a long time ago in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and stuff, people were allowed to do stupid crap when they were young because you were just young, stupid, and broke, and it was okay. But now with social media, and now that these athletes specifically making a lot of money, again, it's changed the narrative. Like, hey, you might be young, but you can't make these mistakes anymore. So like I said, it's a shame that we live in this era where now young people can't be stupid and learn from it. Ryan Williams is a young dude, yes, but unfortunately he doesn't have that same, I guess, like, excuse as people way in the past did. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense, but I think it does. I don't know. But it's just a different time that we live in, especially with these athletes. Everything is getting scrutinized. And especially when you're making millions of dollars a year, you're going to get a lot more scrutinized than people back in the 60s were that were at Woodstock and stuff like that, just having a great time, whatever, and doing stupid crap that would make your grandma want to puke. It's just different stuff back then versus today. It's just different. You don't have those same excuses.
Yeah. Well, we got another caller wanting to join Godfather tonight, and apparently I missed a
wild 10 minutes. Got the real MVP. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Doing well. How about you all?
Oh, we're
Doing
doing
good,
all right.
Darrell. How
Just
about you?
staying busy as just on air, off air, just doing better than I deserve, I guess. How y'all doing?
I'm doing great. What I like hearing about the elite is you can complain despite everything. Like most teams' goals would be exactly what you've all done this year. You all made the playoffs. You all made the SEC championship game, and you're still not happy. And God bless you all because you're Alabama and you deserve so much more. Listen, guys, I'm going to warn you all of a disaster scenario for everyone else, but you all, that's probably might happen. I'll give it around a 15% chance. You all beat Oklahoma, and then you all beat Indiana. Boom. College football is in a crisis. I'm not sure if you've all seen the early line of Indiana, Alabama. It's only 7-point favorites, Indiana. Now think about how bad Alabama's looked the past month with the Oklahoma game.
I mean, I'm actually shocked that it's 7.
I know, but everybody's going to, Jeffrey, how it is. Everybody hates Alabama. They hate the SEC. They just hate the big guys
They
on
hate
top.
Indiana too.
No. They hate Mark. Let me tell you, Jeffrey. They hate Alabama.
Yeah, they do.
They also hate Indiana.
No.
Everybody wants IU to lose.
No, Jeffrey. No. Alabama, people wanting them out of the playoffs, in my opinion, because you're all Alabama.
Exactly.
Because your resume says you should.
They also wanted us out of the playoff because we look like crap, and I also agree with that. And I did say that we probably shouldn't have made the playoffs. The only excuse was that it was a conference championship game, but then why wasn't BYU given the same treatment? BYU got blown out as well, and they fell a spot. We're the only team in history. And again, I'm sorry, I don't want to make Alabama fans mad because I'm glad we got in. I'm never not going to be happy that we got in. But we're the only team in history that loses by 21 points in a football game, and we don't drop a spot.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's never happened in the history of college football that I'm aware of. We lost by 21 points. We ran for a grand total of -3 yards.
That was bad.
And somehow we don't drop a spot.
Right, but you got to remember who you're playing, when the game is, the teams behind you, the resume gap between you all, Notre Dame, Miami, was just, it's still pretty massive. Like, your all second best win is better than their first best win, for goodness sakes.
Right, Darrell. If Alabama had Notre Dame schedule, Alabama would probably be undefeated. I'm sorry.
That's true. Have you seen their schedule next year? You all will go.
Well, their schedule next year is terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to go undefeated, probably, or one loss. Man.
Well, when they had like Notre Dame, not Notre Dame, Wisconsin on there, I don't think they planned on Wisconsin being terrible.
Well, that's why college football scheduling, when these teams schedule these games 10 years in advance, it's dumb. Like, why are you scheduling games 10 years in advance?
You look at the schedule; they get 3 road games for the entirety of the year.
Well, I mean, they do have a couple neutral, but still, I get your point.
That's intent not schedule.
What I want for Christmas, make sure Notre Dame USC is on rivalry week. Although I have a feeling that's not happening. It's probably going to be on week 0 or something like that.
The thing that frustrates me, Darrell, is the fact that Notre Dame was ahead of Miami the entire season.
Yeah, I hate the process.
And then they flipped them at the last second conveniently. That is the problematic thing. You cannot say all season long Notre Dame is better. Literally, the dude's up there and he's like, all right. Okay, so we had Notre Dame ranked ahead of Miami because we think Notre Dame's better than BYU and BYU's better than Miami. But when BYU lost, then Miami was able to pass Notre Dame because they were right next to each other. How does that logic even make sense? You had BYU ranked ahead of Miami. So then, therefore, Notre Dame is ahead of Miami. Why are you flipping them just because BYU lost?
Jeffrey, I hate the process, but the result is the correct result at the end of the day.
I don't give a flip. It's a week 1 game. If you're going off week 1 games, then we shouldn't have made the playoffs.
I'm right there with you, Jeffrey.
We lost to a 5-7 football team by 14. That don't matter. But Notre Dame loses by 3 in Coral Gables. But that does matter.
I think Alabama's resume is so much better.
I understand that, but Notre Dame still should have made the college football playoff over Miami. I don't care what anybody says about that stupid game in week 1. I don't care. Miami was not playing better football than Notre Dame the last 8-9 weeks of the season. I don't care.
Well, listen,
Don't
by
matter.
that logic, then any game at any point in time outside like the final 4 weeks is irrelevant because I've had people tell me Tulane could beat Ole Miss because how greatly Tulane has improved over the course of the season.
No, that's not how that works.
I know,
I
but
don't
this
think
is the
Miami
logic
had a
you go-
Heisman contender.
I understand,
roster.
but this is the logic you go down when you get into the slippery soap fallacy argument of, hey,
The difference here, Darrell, and I agree with you because I agree with you. I understand what you're saying. I know you're trying to reel me back in here. But you cannot rank Notre Dame ahead of Miami the entire season and then switch them at the last set. You cannot do that. That is not how that is supposed to work. If Miami was ahead of Notre Dame all season long in the rankings, I wouldn't have said jack.
I agree.
But the fact
I
that Notre Dame was ranked ahead of them the entire season by multiple spots, but then just somehow conveniently, Bama moves ahead of Notre Dame for a crappy offense. And then BYU loses, so then Notre Dame just gets squashed next to Miami, and then it's like, oh, yeah, we can flip them now.
Yeah, I agree. The process is terrible.
The process is terrible, and I don't care. The head-to-head should have only mattered if Miami was ranked ahead of Notre Dame the entire time.
Yeah, I agree.
And they were not because they lost to 2 unranked teams, which last I checked, Notre Dame's 2 losses were
That's the same stuff that was happening with Baylor TCU in 2014.
Miami reserved the right to claim they were better than Notre Dame when they lost that game to SMU. The way they did. At least the Louisville one you could say was fluky. Carson Beck threw 4 picks. The SMU game was complete garbage.
God.
They were garbage in that game. And then they want to use the excuse, well, okay, Miami beat Pitt by more than Notre Dame did. Okay, Notre Dame was beating Pitt by more until they took the starters out. Miami left their starters in because they knew they literally had to look as good as they possibly could to have
If I'm Notre Dame, I take them.
I just think it's problematic. The process about flipping them at the last second pisses me off.
It's
because
the process,
they should have had
it's not
Miami
the
ranked
end
ahead of
result.
them the entire time if that's how they felt.
Exactly. They overcorrected by putting them 18. That was way too low. That was done by the committee. They didn't want to admit their mistake. Miami should head-to-head has to be the most important thing. But outside of that, the G5 taking up 2 spots is ridiculous.
Well, that's the ACC's problem for sucking.
Okay, the ACC getting a guaranteed spot / the G5 getting a guaranteed spot is ridiculous. They don't belong.
None of them should be guaranteed spots.
Exactly. But people will die on the Big 12, man.
The reason why I am against them being guaranteed spots is because the conferences are not equal anymore. I wish we could just erase all this money pile of crap that me and Godfather have been talking about for the last 30 minutes. Just erase it and go back to the amateur sport that we loved from 2010, 2005. But the thing, okay, no, absolutely not. But I'll defend Notre Dame, but when you go that far, that's just crap.
Hey, what's
but
up,
the
Media?
thing
Good
is,
to see you,
I'd
good
love to go
buddy.
back to the amateur sport that we had before. The conferences were pretty equal, but there ain't one team in the ACC, and there ain't one team in the Big 12 outside of now that Texas Tech is a big NIL factory. That is even at a comparable level with the top 5 teams in the Big 10 and the SEC. It's not even close. It's not even close right now.
I'll go even a step further because people are so warped by your record.
So they shouldn't be guaranteed a spot.
Right. This isn't college basketball. I'll use an example within the SEC. Texas should be in the college football playoff. Texas A&M should not be in the college football playoff. Texas has proven more over the course of the season than Texas A&M. Now, I know that, but they're 11-1 Texas A&M. Doesn't matter. 7 of the top 8 teams that they played in the SEC was the bottom half of the SEC. They played Texas. They got absolutely crushed. They barely beat Notre Dame by 1. Meanwhile, Texas beat Vanderbilt. They beat who else did they beat? They beat 3 top 10 teams, and they lost to Ohio State by 1 point. They beat Oklahoma was the other team. They blew them out absolutely. That resume is more of a playoff resume than anything Texas A&M did the entire season.
That's literally why I said that I agree with Steve Sarkisian's take to an extent. He is technically correct. As disgusting as it is, he is technically correct when he says, if we hadn't have played that Ohio State game, we would have been in the playoffs. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
But that's, again, the problem when everyone has made it about the only thing that matters is the playoffs. That is the problem. If we went back to the BCS, and if
I agree.
I know Texas lost to Florida. I get that. I understand that. They have 3 losses. They lost to Florida. Alabama also lost to Florida State, and we're in. The point I'm trying to make is if you went back to the BCS of the 14 playoff, Texas wouldn't have been anyway, with or without the Ohio State game. That's the problem. Everybody's become obsessed with the playoff, and if you don't make the playoffs, then it's a problem. We got to expand the playoffs even further so we can let all these teams in. That's the problem.
Right.
Texas had a rookie little quarterback that he wasn't ready for prime time. Arch Manning will have better days in the future, I'm sure. They'll probably make the playoffs next year, the year after that. It'll be fine. You're going to be fine, Texas. It's okay.
T-Town Media makes an excellent point where he says, and by the way, check him out on @/Twitter and check him out on TikTok. And let's help our good buddy get to 1,000 subs. Anyway, where he says, crazy how we thought going to 12 teams, this should erase so much chaos, and it went the opposite direction. Couldn't agree.
If anybody thought that expanding the playoffs was going to decrease the chaos, I'm sorry. I don't know how to help you.
Well, Jeff, haven't you heard?
I think everyone that was a college football fan that knew college football dating at least back to like 10 years ago knew that by expanding the playoffs, it was not going to decrease the chaos.
I did say this time last year, I was like, you know what? It's 1 year. I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'll give it about a few years. But then I'm like, you know what? A year later, after 2 years, I'm ready to just cut the cord on 12. I want to just go to 2 teams, four, go back to the 4 best teams, or let's do like a +1 system.
That's my favorite system's the +1. But Jeffrey, I'm not sure if you've heard Big 12 man and ACC brilliant man's idea to solve all the problems. It's not 12, it's not 14, it's not 16. 2014 playoff.
So you let 8 and 4 Iowa get in, and then we're going to complain that
no, it's also combines the best part of what you like the most of the 12 team, which is the auto bids. So you'd have 4 SEC, 4 Big 10, 3 ACC, 3 Big 12, 2 Group of 5 teams automatically get in, and then 6 at-large teams.
I mean, why are we guaranteeing teams? A certain amount of teams from a conference to get in. That in and of itself is problematic. Because you've created a system where the SEC and the Big Ten are supremely dominant over everyone else. But yet you want to guarantee all these teams from these other leagues that are no good anymore in the play. Like,
but Jeffrey, you don't understand Big 12 and ACC, man. It's not that they're inferior to the SEC and Big Ten. It's that ESPN and the college football rankings and the AP poll is all rigged against them, and they can't get the exposure.
You know what's rigged against them? This.
Well, it's not. I would say also the football results on the scoreboard's also rigged against them. Well, it is,
but it's because of this. The only team in the Big 12 that is spending money to the effect of the SEC or the Big Ten is Texas Tech. And guess where they're at? And the only team in the ACC that is spending money effectively enough somehow to squeak their way into the playoffs in the ACC is that team that made the playoffs. It's all about that. The results on the field have more to do with this now than basically any other statistic that you can measure. Money. The teams that are in the playoffs are spending money. The teams that are not in the play, I don't think Baylor is spending as much money as Texas Tech. No, they're not. If they were,
so I'm going to write you as so you don't want to see Virginia and Georgia Tech in the playoffs. Is that correct?
No, I don't want to see those teams in the playoffs because they're not good, and it's because they don't have the money to keep up, which is unfortunate.
And by the way, this isn't a straw man I'm making. These are teams that would have legitimately qualified this year based on this dumb criteria.
Georgia Tech, I like Georgia Tech. I like Brent Key, but they were not good. They were not good because they didn't have the players to win. Haynes King had no support. Their defense was trash.
What about Vanderbilt?
They would have got in as an at-large spot.
Vanderbilt was legitimately good, actually, though. They were good, and they are spending money more. So, I mean, they actually had a good team. I really don't understand why more people aren't complaining about them not getting in than they did. I understand the resume wasn't all that good.
Oh man, I didn't
But I
even
mean,
thought-
they were a good team, though.
If you'd have had 16 teams, they would have got in.
Yes.
I still am not for that ever. So
Yeah, I'm not.
I
I'll
like,
make my stance clear on the 16, and I hate doing this, but college football's so broken, I have to do this. I'm willing to go to 16 teams if two things is gone. Notre Dame getting special privilege because they would have made the 12-team playoff this year and next year's system. Yes, that is accurate. Yes, it is dumb. And two, we get rid of the 5 guaranteed conference championship rule.
I mean, Notre Dame should have gotten into the college football playoff over Tulane and James Madison.
They would have. No, Jeffrey. That's not what I'm saying. If they're guaranteed, they're in the top 12 in the final rankings. Notre Dame is guaranteed a spot in the college football playoff. Yeah. So as long as they could be 12 and they're guaranteed in.
You don't have to limit.
I hadn't even thought about until just now about Godfather being a Santa Claus. Like I hadn't even thought about that. Like he makes a great Santa, doesn't he?
Got to get rid of the SEC championship games. You had a 34-year run. You've had a good run, but all you do now is people's just bitching about it.
Yep.
Get rid of it.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I said the other night. Get rid of that. Swap Alabama versus Notre Dame, and we see what Notre Dame's reaction is when they figure out they have to play Alabama. Oh, the sky's falling.
Very
I
true.
was reading an article from Matt Zimick last week on College Wire where he was saying, you know what, time to pull the plug on conference titles, where instead just have like bubble elimination games. Have something like that. Like
the college football playoff has single-handedly destroyed so much about college football. It is unreal. Like people don't understand how much it has destroyed college football. And the thing is, for some people, they have no problems with this, and that's okay. That is your opinion. That is okay. If you are for expansion, if you are for all this crazy shenanigan hoopla that's going on right now, good for you. That you are in nirvana right now. But for people like me and Darrell and Jackson and Godfather and people that like it the way it was before, this stinks. It sucks.
I'm tired.
It really freaking sucks. And it's all because of that darn playoff. I remember when I was 10 years old when they first did the playoffs, and I was like, I don't think this is good. And I had a bunch of people telling me, why not? More teams get to bow out, because I'm like, I don't know. I just have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be problematic.
I had to eat my words too, Jeffrey. I said, when we go to a 12-team playoff, Alabama, there's no way you can keep Alabama out. That's exactly what was my words on Touchdown Alabama magazine. I said, you'll never be able to keep them out anymore. Well, I eat my words. They got their butts put out. Yeah. So, it's anything can happen. I mean, it's a mess. It's just a total mess.
Man. By the way, shout out to Stephen M. Smith at Touchdown Alabama, who he and his wife have recently had the birth of their baby girl from a couple weeks ago, I believe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I think that's right. Let me double check to make sure, because I saw that on a YouTube post on Touchdown Alabama. I want to make sure we're congratulating our friend. There it is. We want.
No, she was born the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, she was nearly Thanksgiving baby. Yeah.
Oh man. There it is.
I don't know what we're gonna do to it. We're gonna have to pass a new big beautiful bill. Does that help any? Did I make it worse? I need to shut up.
No, that was a good joke. That got Jeffrey to laugh. If you get one person to laugh, that's a good joke.
I guess I just need to shut up, boy. It sounds.
I'll laugh at a lot of junk though, man. I'll laugh at a lot of junk, but that deserved to be laughed. Not laughed at. That you get what I'm trying to say. It was funny. I thought it was funny.
College football does not need to be in the hands of the Democrat and Republican Party.
No.
Like, because I I get so weirded out when I see officials getting involved in the world of college football. I'm like, unless they're trying to reunite old rivalry games. If they're doing that, okay. Other than that, don't screw with college football. That's what I'm telling you. I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you're from Texas, California, Virginia. I don't care. Don't screw with college football. Because all I'm thinking is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. That's got me a little nerve wracked right there.
Well, you got to say one. Well, Nick thinks it should be. I mean, as much as we supported him, backed him as great a college football into the Hall of Fame last night, he thinks that he's the number one man up there lobbying for this shit.
Ugh.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's just the facts. That's not.
I mean, Nick Saban lobbied for Lane Kiffin to go to LSU, which I was completely against.
Well,
the thing is, I will say that I don't agree with our beloved coach on a lot of junk.
I think,
and that's okay. I still love Nick Saban. He is amazing. But
I think honestly, it's because of the fact, and this is something I'm really thinking about, and maybe I've got that little tinfoil hat, like DeVille said the other night, but I think it's because the fact that Coach Saban and Coach Kiffin had the same agent. Hence why you saw Saban defending Coach Kiffin on November 29th of 2025 on College Game Day, whereas 8 years before in January 2017,
get
Coach
off my
Saban,
team.
Yep, he's like, you're out of here. I don't want you. And
because you look at these coaches. Look at Bruce Pearl, the basketball coach at Auburn. He thought he was going to run for Tuberville's seat. They want to get out of college athletics and go to Washington D.C. because hell, I get up there, I can make way more money up there than them crooked. I better not get started. I'll have this.
yeah, I know.
Oh, you and me both, buddy.
It's too much for. It's too much.
And here's Paul.
It makes less sense than our playoff system that we currently got.
Man,
which is saying a whole lot.
You're gonna like, yeah, because it's like when we get off air, that's where we really get talked.
Well, what really cracks me up is when that certain individual on a certain network, that certain person that graduated from Indiana University, but somehow despises Indiana to death, that person, her reaction to the playoff announcement, she was like,
wow. I mean, it was obviously the correct move, Miami. And
I don't care.
I know.
I do not care.
And here Paul Feinbaum is 75 years old and he wants to get in politics.
No. Oh, well, luckily he's not going into the Senate. So I got my I got my Christmas present already. He's not going in politics. I still get to continue calling in on the show. So it's like there. It's like
wow. The world's coming together.
Well, because I say like Paul's missing out on.
We cannot miss our weekly calls with Jackson on the Paul Feinbaum show. We cannot. Everything has gone nuts if we can't have that.
Well, and that's we're gonna get him to hear only talk sports one of these days.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, because it's like he needs at least a couple-minute call from Jeffrey. Because
I ain't gonna lie, Jackson. I've missed the real being on here. I've missed.
I know it.
Like when the real comes on, I know, and I'm glad I'm getting a little bit better where I can actually talk to Darrell, because like last week I couldn't have done it, but now I can talk again. So enough.
Oh man,
but it's like the conversation with Darrell and you add Godfather to the mix, like it's just peak, man.
Oh man, so tonight, I mean we're getting through the first hour now. We've been having a crazy night tonight. It's grandparents babysitting and did a little smack talking on Portnoy and talk about whatever was happening while I was get back here to the office. And then oh God, I think my brain's rotted tonight.
Yeah. That's what happens. I mean, literally, all this stuff is going on. Like, I'm young, man. I can't imagine what it feels for someone like Godfather who's been watching football for a long time, seeing how it is now versus then. Even when I was young, it's like, it's a big difference, man. This stuff is just wacky. This is just wacky, man.
It turns you into Ren Hoek, where he just goes, "I was nice today." I don't know.
I don't know.
But in all seriousness, Bean, I call on there usually once, twice a week, but I've been letting my schedule kind of get to me too easily over the past few weeks. But I will get back on there.
Jackson is a busy guy. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I'm like the Erican bird terrorizing Donald Duck.
Yeah, doing the mess around.
Mm-hmm. Hey, at least I ain't doing the mess around like Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, literally, that is Jackson's new gag, man. Like, for every coach out there, like, don't be Frosty. It's like well, you had to ruin Frosty. Free Frosty, free Frosty.
Did Alabama did we pick up Kentucky next year in the 9 game?
Oh, week 2, yes. Oh,
yes, week 2, Alabama goes to Kentucky, which is our first. That's our first head coach's SEC game. Congrats, you get to play Alabama. Such a good introduction. I mean, we're going to get splattered by probably 21, 28 points.
Gentlemen, may I present the 2026 SEC schedule, or basically the schedule.
Right. First off, there should be 9-3 teams making the college football playoff. And if you don't like it, well, get better as a conference. That's my first advice to you: is just get better.
If you don't like 9-3 teams in the playoff, then go back to 4.
Oh man, so yeah. And Mississippi State, I feel like that's a trap game for some reason because they're gonna catch us thinking about revenge for a little bit.
Bro, you play 3 top 10 teams potentially in a row.
Georgia at Tennessee, Texas A&M at LSU at Vandy.
And only one bye week out of all that next year, just one.
Well, that's because of the fact where it's anytime like when there's a year where it's gonna be the year where you have one bye week or a year where you have 2 bye weeks. Always watch for when Labor Day is. Because if Labor Day is on like the first Saturday, the first day of September, or like because it's always on the first Monday of the month, the first Monday of September. Watch for the date of Labor Day, and watch for the date of when Thanksgiving is. That's how you're gonna know when you've got 1 bye week for the season or 2 bye weeks for the season, or if you don't want to have to worry about whether you're only going to get 1 bye week or 2 bye weeks, make sure you can find one of your games to move them up to week 0. That way, you can have a little fun. No rules saying you can't play on week 0.
Well, maybe you can play that garbage game that we always have before Auburn.
I don't see why not.
Why can't we play the mocks in week 0?
How many?
Let's see.
Since we play Kentucky.
Unfortunately, they're playing West Georgia on week 0. Damn. Well, let's see if they can move. Let's see if West Georgia can move. Well,
West Georgia, one of those schools that has more talent than Penn State based off their recruiting class.
West Georgia can't move their game.
I mean, who cares? Honestly, at the end of the day,
I care.
Well, your schedule's going to be super hard with
Jackson cares. It's like Notre Dame, USC. He cares, and Penn State, Pittsburgh, and
I know.
Jeffrey's had to hear
Apple
me.
Cup and Civil War and all of it. He cares.
Unfortunately, all of it's going to go away.
He and I have had to call my butt down about Penn State Pitt, but
we got we're going. It seems like 16 or 24. Shoot, in a few years we'll be 48 teams and arguing for 6 and 6, 7 and 5 teams making the college.
Well, let's reel it back to Bama for a little bit. Now, luckily, Third Saturday in October still intact. Nobody's making a dumb move to put it on fourth Saturday in October. I'm happy about that. We know
Can you
where
pull
our
the schedule up, Jackson?
Huh?
Can you pull it up? That way we all have a reference point.
Certainly, my good man. Oh my God. Revenge. September 19th. Loving
Yeah.
it.
You
You
know
all
why
should
the
be-
timing of an easy game matters? You know why it matters to me? Because of the fact you are supposed to be at your worst in the first game of the season.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh yeah, Chris Camp. This is going to be the last year where we play LSU, but we won't play them in 2027. Alabama LSU will be back in Tuscaloosa in 2028. It will not be played in 2029, but the SEC is going to reevaluate the three annual rivals. So what's going to happen is by like say midway through 2028 or before the 2028 season, the SEC is going to get together and just kind of figure out, so how are we feeling about our three annual rivals for 2026, 2027? And I'm going to keep it $1.50 with you. The one that's really going to get scrutinized is whether Mississippi State is still going to be that annual opponent. There's no debate about Auburn, Tennessee. Alabama, Mississippi State, that's going to be okay, so do we keep Mississippi State as that annual rival for Alabama, or do we put LSU back on the annual rival spot? That's going to be the question there. It all depends on how LSU is performing in 2026 and 2027, and it all depends on Alabama, of course. But still, though, and I think that all depends on Mississippi State as well.
Alabama LSU generates a lot more views and discussion and money than Mississippi State. And I think all these decisions were being made based off that, right? I think that's what we've been talking about for an hour tonight.
Right.
Money.
I wish they had the.
I think Alabama LSU is the same rate as Florida Tennessee, because like I've said it a million times before, and I'll say it again, but before Coach Saban, nobody really talked about Bama LSU. I mean, yeah, there are a couple games people talk about, like 1985, where there was a tie in that game, or 1979, where Alabama won 3-0, where Keith Jackson was commenting about how, hey, we want to put Alabama LSU on ABC, but it's going to have to be in daytime. And LSU's coach at that time saying, hell no. We want it at night to scare the crap out of the Tide. And what happens? Alabama wins a tight one, 3-0. But yeah, and it was funny though. Like we were talking about tonight on the SEC schedule release, Tucker Harlan, our Tennessee guy, shout out to him, was talking about how like no one really talked about like Florida, Tennessee before the 90s. You know, with the magic that you saw from Spurrier and Former. But I think that's the same with Alabama LSU. I think we're going to wait and see on 2026 how this turns out. But I do think Alabama LSU is that same way as Florida Tennessee. And fact is, Starkville, Mississippi, and Tuscaloosa are really close to one another. That's why they had that game scheduled as an annual game for at least the next 4 years. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up the schedule again. So our game against Vandy, that's going to be on November 14th. And personally, I'll be honest, I was kind of surprised that we had Alabama, Kentucky week 2. But gentlemen, what do you think about this?
I think it's crazy that in this year, your second hardest game is probably at Vandy. Like, just think about that if I told you 2 years ago, hey, Alabama's second hardest game with this schedule is at Vanderbilt. Like,
I think that if anybody had said that Indiana was going to beat Ohio State ever again in college football, I think people would have said that you were completely senile. So that is up there too as crazy. So Vandy and IU have also broken college football.
That's true. The final thing, I think they should unquestionably be 5-0 going to the Georgia game.
Sure.
Is that? Do we all agree on that? They should.
I mean, if they're not, then DeBoer is on fire.
Yeah.
Presuming he's
Yeah.
still our coach because he's going to Michigan, everybody. That's what everybody's saying, right?
That asshole Larry Ellison
Dude,
is
if he
not
goes to Michigan,
buying
dude, I'm
Kalen
just gonna be
DeBoer.
like, this
He's
is, I'm
buying
done.
Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers is a dying property like MGM was in the 90s. So that's the thing. It's funny how things come in full circle. And who knows? His little
History
ring.
repeats itself.
Yeah. Paramount gonna get bought by somebody. So it's like
Yeah. Paramount's got UFC now. I saw the ad earlier. It's like, ooh.
God.
It's like his stuff's a joke, man. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It just
Oh crap! My bad on getting everyone worked up on Ellison for a bit, but that Bama Georgia game.
Hey
I'm
Bean,
looking-
you have hey Bean. I mean, hey Jackson. Bean says you have a price.
Let's negotiate it.
I mean, everybody's got a price. That's why Lane Kiffin left, right? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
You'd be amazed what my prices are, but it's not exactly
That
like,
could be interpreted a lot of different ways.
it could be money. It can be in things I really like. I'm very easy to please. That's the thing, though. I'm very easy to please.
Y'all actually think that Kiffin can go down there and be a winning coach in 2 years? What do y'all think? 2 years, 3 years? What do you think about it?
Absolutely. He was able to succeed at Ole Miss. If he can succeed at Ole Miss, you can succeed at LSU. Best hire of the this
They just
season
the pressure,
off season.
the pressure of the fan base can't get to him.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm still kind of like his personal stuff kind of gets to me, honestly. It's like honestly,
What about it?
He's a mess now.
I want to hear. I want to hear it. What about it?
He's not. He doesn't really control himself. Like when he got divorced, I was hearing about how he was messing around with a lot of women.
He was.
And you know the stories I'm hearing about, like his kid doing the mess around with a lot of dudes, is kind of telling me he's not really running a clean household.
I don't think they care about that long as he puts the W on up.
I mean, again, it's like Sharon Moore. He got fired.
Give me the W.
Michigan fans wanted him fired.
It's a W. That's what it's all about. The W.
I could see that in a way.
I've literally said that Lane Kiffin could win a national championship at LSU and then get fired 2 years later.
Yeah.
It's already happened.
You know what would be awesome, Jeffrey? If Pete Golding was winning at Ole Miss, getting a natty way before Kiffin even gets LSU to the quarterfinals of the playoffs. Because it would be like the same thing when Brian Kelly left Notre Dame for LSU.
Oh, I've just been memeing the heck out of Brian Kelly, like Michigan, be like, oh, who should be our next coach? And then I've got Brian Kelly with that little circular LSU thing. You remember that, right? Where he's spinning around.
Well, yeah, Brian Kelly's a turd. That's the thing. So it's easy to make fun of him. But he's probably got some gig at Barstool waiting for him somewhere. But anyway, yeah, it's he leaves Notre Dame for LSU to go win a natty. He doesn't even make it to a playoff game. Yet Notre Dame with Marcus Freeman, little old Notre Dame, gets him to a natty. Yeah, they lose in the natty, but still, though, he gets him to a natty 2024. 2026, I feel like Notre Dame's going to be rolling through everybody. But hey, you can't win a natty at Ole Miss or Notre Dame, or because I'm going to go to LSU. Man, I'm going to tell you, if Lane Kiffin doesn't get a natty or get a playoff win or an SEC title win at LSU, there's going to be a lot of videos on LSU football where people leave their current spot to leave LSU because they think they have a better chance at winning, whereas the coaches that take over for them are doing better than their former boss.
I can just imagine 4 years from now, though, Tarmac 2.0.
Oof. You're not gonna see Ole Miss walking them in bat, that's for sure.
I'm slightly joking when I say this. It wouldn't completely shock me if Lane Kiffin took the Michigan job.
What about the Alabama job? What about the Alabama job?
Yes,
No.
we open too. Yeah.
Hell no.
Anything's possible with Kiffin, man. Anything is on the board with that man.
Too much drama, does not have control of his house. I mean, like,
there's a lot of good people that don't have any control over their kids, but I know what you're saying, Jackson. Yeah, I totally.
Well, he's automatically upgrade over a Sharon Moore. As long as he doesn't end up in prison, then that's by definition an upgrade. Now, that's a sad and pathetic bar we're setting. That is the bar we're setting.
Yeah, how low can you go? How low can you go?
How low can you go? How low can you go?
I told Jackson I got some stories I'll tell later on in the off season about Lane Kiffin, but he'd go slow, he'd get locked out of practice, and it got ugly at Alabama. I'm telling you, it's a true story. It got pretty ugly.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny, Austin. Oh my god! Like sands through the hourglass, so are days of our Lane Kiffin's lives.
Literally, college football is becoming as bad as reality television, and I loathe reality television. I don't watch that crap, that degenerate junk. Like, are you kidding me right now? We've gone that low.
It's low. It got bad with Kiffin there for a while. No wonder Nick fired him. I know why.
Yeah, like I got to be able to hear some of those stories from Godfather, and I was that right there. I've been like, no to Kiffin being a future head coach at Tuscaloosa.
I know why he fired him now. Exactly. Yeah, I know.
I just remember when Dabo Sweeney was a candidate for the Alabama job several years ago when they said Saban will retire. Oh, Dabo Sweeney. I'm like, how far we've gone since then.
I don't want somebody that's acting like Hank Hill every time they hear the word sets. I know, right? But I don't want a coach. I want a coach.
Everything in moderation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like, I want a coach that is making sure that his team is winning on the field, making sure his team is doing well.
This is what I'm saying, Bean. It's called convenient. Mm-hmm. It's just convenient. I'm not. I think we have all the evidence in the world to say that it happened. I'm just saying that it's really convenient that Michigan fired him when they did. That's all I'm saying.
Uh-huh. I heard a few discords where there were like rumors about some stuff going on about Sharon Moore, but I also heard from Michigan at the Voice College Football where they were talking about, like, there were some hints of stuff like what Sharon Moore was doing.
But if he was 12-0,
unfortunately,
that's all I'm saying. I know it makes people mad. I don't even want to say I apologize because I don't. But I'm sorry if that upsets you.
Well, it's the truth.
I'm just saying that if Michigan was 12-0 and they were the number one team in the country, would they have fired him? I just don't think so.
What was he doing?
Because, like Bean said, there is a lot of reports that say that this story had been floating for around a month. He loses to Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
The signing day occurs. All the Michigan fans are already through with him. Hey, let's go ahead and announce it now. That's all I'm saying. It's just it would have been good if Michigan had done that. If they knew about this before the Ohio State game, then they should have fired him before the Ohio State game.
Well, Godfather, from what we've been hearing, Sharon Moore was not only doing the mess around with a staffer behind his wife's back.
Oh,
he got her pregnant, and I think he's in jail tomorrow. I think he's going to go to court to see how much
Right.
he's going to pay in bail. But apparently, he threatened to, harm himself and just like kind of do some. Who
He-
knows?
Yeah.
He pulled a worse thing than what Hugh Freeze done. This is worse than Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, he
God.
just went completely AWOL over it.
Jesus.
Like the first decision was really bad.
Why
The
are
second
there
decision was
so
worse.
many grown adults not acting like grown adults?
Well, I mean,
Have
the thing
some
is that
self-control.
he was married. That's the thing. Like, I know,
Well, yeah, I
I know
feel most.
I know for a lot of people that probably is like, well, anyway, it's still
Like,
horrible, but
when
that
you're
just makes it worse. Like,
Like, that's-
married and kids, like, come on, dude.
like when you're a married dude or a married woman, like it doesn't matter who you're married to or what you are, if you're married, you're supposed to just be on the straight and narrow. You're supposed to be this Andy Taylor type. Not
That's why that show's buried in the 1960s, man. That's long gone. That is
well,
rest in peace
integrity should
history
still
right
be
there.
a thing. Like you,
Yeah, it
like,
should.
exactly. It's not, because like I don't think integrity is a thing in the past. I think it's like you have to make sure you relearn the lessons of what you heard when you were young. Like
Maybe.
You know what cracks me up though about people's reaction online is that there's a certain group of people that are way more mad at. I guess. Okay.
Oh, can I respond to something?
Stromore is the only person in the wrong, according to a lot of people. And
well, the person
he is absolutely in the wrong, but it's like
they're kind of both in the wrong.
Can I respond to
like
something
the
that
snapper knew that he was married?
They're both in the wrong.
Uh-huh.
Stromore did a lot of despicable crap.
Yep.
But they were both wrong.
Takes two.
Why we gotta be like it's all? They're both wrong. They are both wrong.
And
she's an adult too. They're both wrong.
And I think they should pay fines to whoever they have disappointed.
Well, all right, you got a dude and he's doing crap and she's like whatever, and it's like, okay, get away from him, call the cops, don't take the money and run, whatever. The Steve Miller Band song, that's a great song from the 70s. I had to make another song reference, but the dude, no, both wrong.
Right.
Just wrong. Like, and we just do not get it twisted, as Rammer Jammer said. People just annoy me with that.
Well, the people I feel the most for is the kids and the wife. They're obviously
it's terrible.
Right.
Those are the ones that got screwed by this, and I hope the kids, learn from everything, good, bad, and ugly. Because it's like the thing about being a parent, or about.
Not the first time it's ever happened. It won't be the last time either. I'll guarantee.
I can tell you this. I mean,
how do you feel about that one, Jackson?
I don't mind having a hot suit too, but you teach self-control. That's all it takes.
I like how the making millions part Jackson just assumed was just, that's obviously going to happen.
Oh yeah. Well, that'll come. That's the thing.
Got to get the money. Got to get the money somehow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say, Church, I may not be a married man, but I will say I would, if I were, I would make sure.
$6 million man.
I'd be making sure that right.
Yeah. There's plenty of married men out there in the world, and there's plenty of married men who don't make this stupid level decision. Like,
my thing is that if you can't commit to a single person, then you should not get married.
Exactly.
Like I don't think that's a hot take. Like it's still wrong.
Obviously the rational decision.
It's still wrong, but if you can't be faithful, don't get married.
Yeah.
People don't know how to make rational decisions anymore, Jeffrey. And, that affects all aspects of society, including our favorite sport. So
I know.
nothing's going to change, unfortunately. Stupid people will make stupid decisions. And
You give any guy $10 million, a Porsche, and a mansion, shenanigans will ensue. Fact.
I just completely disagree with this line of thinking. There's plenty of multi-millionaires that have no problem at all, that live their normal lives and stuff out there. I mean, I don't want to sound elitist or arrogant when saying this, but let's be honest. $1 million, $2 million in our lifetime is not going to be that much an amount of money anyway.
No.
Like, you can spend till $1 million pretty easily if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you buy like 3 cars and you're done. I mean,
Right.
literally, there's
here's
like
my
a
thing.
Rolls Royce out there that's worth more than $10 million.
But here's my thing, Trojan Fight. If someone is not putting out, y'all gotta have a serious conversation.
Well,
Yeah,
Trojan
with
Fight
that
doesn't
person.
like you have to understand that marriage is not just it's a biblical aspect to it. It combines 2 people into one person.
Yes.
It's
Exactly.
joining people. So there's a faith element aspect that you're just completely ignoring. And that's what needs to be grounding in. If you have faith, then it'll be a lot easier. And if you have morals and values that are completely aligned or similarly aligned, it'll be much easier anyway. It shouldn't be a completely transactional thing where you're just like getting what you want and she gets what she wants, because that's doomed to fail.
Yeah. Agreed.
We went from Alabama football to divorce court.
Well, I mean, the thing is again,
That's
college
Sharon
football is
Morris
becoming a
fault.
reality
Oh,
show. I think, I mean, you're not going to get this level of insight on a reality TV show, though. I mean, the real spitting facts right now.
There
Absolutely
we go.
spitting facts.
And we got Sports Talk with Austin joining the party. How are you doing tonight, good buddy?
Oh, doing pretty good, just sitting here listening and going from Alabama football to divorce stories. I mean, man, I wish we were filming a TV show. This would be ratings gold right now.
All we had to do was get to Sharon Moore, and then it just kind of filled in the work for
But
us.
that's why Portnoy is like Michigan's the center of the universe.
Yeah, but the Michigan brand, and this is why I don't think Kalen DeBoer is going to accept the Michigan job. The Michigan brand this entire decade is you're terrible, which is 2020, and you've been cheating the last 4 years.
What's going to happen to Dusty May now?
Well, think about every controversy Michigan's had.
Fine.
Like, their basketball head coach before Dusty May slapped a Wisconsin assistant in the face. Okay? That happened.
Yeah, Juwan Howard.
Yep, you had the cyber crimes of a Michigan football staffer, I believe, in which the FBI investigate him. You had the Connor Stallions thing in which he cheated. And
that dude's just running rampant on social media.
Right. he got Jim Harbaugh.
I've been seeing Connor Stallions a lot on Locked On Wolverines once a week. I've been curious about him.
What is it?
So why did he decide to show his face now after all these years? Is it safe?
I don't know.
But you hear the reels list though.
Yeah.
I still had more, by the way, on that list, which is the crazy part.
Yeah.
Michigan is a toxic. They're radioactive. I heard it described on the Monty Show.
They're radioactive.
Yeah, they're radioactive. You can't touch them.
If you're a radio ooze, man.
Can't touch the hammer. You can't touch.
Like, if you wanted to be associated with Michigan, you're associating yourself with just all this trauma and vile disgust, and you're going to tarnish your own representation.
Donovan McCulley should have never transferred from Indiana.
Right.
But
I forgot to mention the Santa Ona controversy, in which he got completely rejected from Florida because hit the First Amendment difference between Michigan and Florida.
Man.
So at all levels, they have completely failed.
So I was listening to some of your all's conversation about this Miami, Alabama, Notre Dame debacle.
Oh, we're going
First
back
off,
to this. We're going back to this debate.
Well,
I wasn't here for this, Darrell. Listen here, Darrell. Listen, I gotta get my thoughts.
God.
But anywho, Jeffrey, congratulations are in order. Indiana did it. Who's your daddy? Heis Doza, as they like to call him in the streets. Thank God Indiana did it. Thank you, Indiana.
Thank you. The whole country was rooting for IU.
Congrats on
Yeah.
winning a meaningless game, Jeffrey. Congrats.
I don't care. It was sweet.
What do you
man.
mean meaningless, Darrell? That was the most important game in Indiana football
Indiana
history.
won their first Big Ten title since 1967.
Like,
That means a whole lot.
I'm being serious when I say that too. Like, people think I'm being sarcastic. No, that was the biggest game in Indiana football history. No matter what happens after this, that's the biggest game they're ever going to play. No matter if
they could play in the national championship game. I would suspect that game's a little bit more important than the Big Ten title game. But I get your point. I mean, it's not going to happen because I do think, I'm not sure if you heard me talk to Jeffrey and Jackson. I do think there's about a 10-15% chance Alabama beats Indiana, which would be hilarious for the sport of college football in general.
It would be hilarious, and obviously it would not be bad for me. But
no, but just imagine the reaction from
I want
trolls.
Alabama to win, but
Jeffrey, everybody has been using the argument we got to expand the playoff. We got to get the little guy a chance. We got to make sure these teams that aren't represented get a chance to prove it with the big boys. And then Alabama at 10-3 just walks to the semifinals.
Well, it's Bama. I mean, Bama's not your typical.
Yeah, I know, but the
coach, you know what I'm saying?
Jeffrey, the coach.
But here,
these people have no logic, man. They use any excuse.
I know, that's what would make it so beautiful, is because they would completely twist themselves in more knots. It'd be so funny because these people were arguing for Alabama to be out of the playoffs, and then they would have made the semifinals and beat Indiana, and then everybody was like, "Oh, it's all rigged." It would have been hilarious.
Well, because here's the thing. Like, at this point, I kind of want to see Indiana go the whole way because this is like a Cinderella story.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I kind of want to just see. I kind of want to just see him do it this year. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him do it because I mean, like, how many more chances? Like, I know Signetti might have another great team, but like this. All these teams are discombobulated right now.
This could be the year.
The time is now. Alabama, we can get it next year. The time is now for Indiana. That's all I'm saying.
The amount of people, Jeffrey, who are disrespecting you all by having you all lose to Oregon, a team you already beat by 10 points at their home stadium.
That's why I'm saying they hate Indiana, Drew. I'm not talking about the nation. I'm talking about the people that make these calls.
No, they just don't respect you all. It's different.
That's hate.
No, it's not.
That is hate.
You're so insignificant that they don't hate you. They're indifferent to you.
That's worse.
Yes, exactly.
That is worse.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, here we go. So, Godfather.
The Bama brand has not been diminished. We lost by 21 points, and we didn't even drop a spot.
The Bama brand's fine. Anyway, Godfather, Darrell, we're gonna let you go for tonight, and we're gonna bring on Michael Hogue.
I hate leaving Godfather Darrell, man. It's been an epic conversation.
I know it.
This has been epic though. What a return! What a return! I'm so glad that I was able to come back to this show where we got Darrell back. Like, man, what a show!
Oh, agree.
Appreciate you guys so much.
I'll call in 2 weeks from now when Alabama's playing Indiana. Okay?
There you go.
All
right,
Godfather. Thank you for coming on, and we'll see you soon. And when we do see Bama play Indiana, I think we're gonna have we're gonna have some wild guests over for Indiana week.
See, here's the thing. Oklahoma might beat Bama 3 times in a row. They've got your number, it seems like. Because in both games they've played you, they found a way to win both with a bad team and a great team. So I wouldn't count this as a win just yet, Darrell. It could be Oklahoma and Indiana in the
I
Rose
don't
Bowl.
think that he's saying it's going to happen. I think he's saying that there's a really good chance it could happen.
Right. There's like a 70, like if you saw the first game, Alabama was clearly the better team throughout it. They absolutely dominated every statistical category. There was a few fluke plays that went Oklahoma's way. Oklahoma's not going to win this game 31-28. They're just not in that DNA. I mean, unless some miracle outlier
It is in
happens.
Oklahoma, though.
Okay, I don't care where it's played. I don't think home field advantage matters as much as people say. I think Ty Simpson was hurt in the SEC championship game. I think he'll get better over these next 2 weeks. I think they're going to take him lightly and rest him for a large portion of this. I think Alabama's going to win this game by around 10 to 14 points. I don't think it'll be that competitive a game.
Okay.
Most of these playoff games aren't that competitive. I'm expecting like a 17-6 type score is what's coming into my mind right now. And then we're going to be talking about Alabama only being 7-point underdogs to Indiana, and people will be so confused. And then the game's actually going to happen. And
I will say, though, next Friday we are having the post-game show after Alabama, Oklahoma. That will be a good time for a long time for sure. But like next Thursday, of course, is the final takes on Alabama, Oklahoma before the game, of course.
I think Darrell is our biggest supporter right now.
See, because
I recognize the position Alabama's in. I recognize that Alabama's metrics, their talent, like Alabama's the only team that entering the second week is going to have a pretty sizable talent advantage over their partner in the playoffs, who they're facing. Like, think about that. Georgia, Ole Miss.
You know what's funny, though?
That's why Indiana should not have beaten Ohio State.
Right. I don't think Ohio State cared about that game, but that's just speculation.
I'm glad they didn't care. I don't care if they didn't care.
I know,
really
Jeffrey.
I
know, and this is why, Jeffrey, Indiana's viewed as indifferent, because of that attitude right there. I'm just letting you know. That's why they're indifferent.
And I don't care. It was one of the greatest sports moments of my life. Okay, it was great.
I agree.
We played Indiana on New Year's Day in the Rose Bowl for 2026. And this is something I've really thought about, and this is what I've been finding out about. And I talked about this with Jake Crane the other day. If we're in the Rose Bowl playing Indiana on New Year's Day, not only will it be on New Year's Day of 2026, of course, but it'll be on the 100th anniversary of the game that changed the South, the 1926 Rose Bowl, for where we played Washington. We won 20-19. Darrell, I'll go ahead and let you go for tonight. I'm gonna bring in our next caller.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure talking to you all. I've greatly enjoyed the show. Man, just can't wait for you all to absolutely destroy Oklahoma. So I'll look forward to that.
Everybody as well, Darrell. Thanks for the confidence.
Yeah, no problem. Man. You all don't worry about the game that didn't matter, the SEC championship game. It didn't matter to anybody. Everybody knew that going in for the most part. You all are just fine, okay? I understand you're Alabama and you want to be 12-0. You're going to have to deal with 10-2 and 11-1 in this new world. And everything will work out for you guys. I'll get going. Everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and support these two gentlemen because they've deserved it.
Appreciate it, man. Darrell.
Have a great night. Let's give Darrell a follow on @Twitter. Alrighty, we've got our next caller, Michael Hogg, on the line. Sorry about the long wait, good buddy.
Jeffrey, make up your mind.
What do you expect me to do here? Okay, like what? Literally, like what do you expect?
No. One day you're going to Indiana, next day you go to Alabama. Here in Indiana, you would be considered a traitor. Because you always talk about Indiana basketball and Indiana football and all this, and now you're talking to Alabama. Which is it?
I've been an Alabama fan since I was 3.
Okay. Then why would you start going with Indiana then in the last few years?
I've been watching Indiana for 10 years, and I rooted for them because they sucked. I never thought they would have been good. It was more of a gag than anything else.
Okay.
For real. It was more of a gag. I've been
vouch.
watching Indiana for like 2015, 2016 when they had Sudfeld. I was like, and I watched the basketball team when they had Yogi Ferrell. They were decent, but I was like, people hated IU. I still believe they do. They're like, IU sucks. They're trash. Their basketball team used to be a blue blood. They're trash. Their football team's the worst in the sport. And I just started watching. I got no connections to IU. I have no family from there. I've got nobody in my family's ever been to the university. I live in North Carolina. I got no reason to like him. It was just, I don't know. I'm weird like that, man.
I
know
can
you-
vouch for that. Michael, I
you
can vouch for that because when I first met Jeffrey on November 4th, 2022, on a Friday night at 10 o'clock at night, and, Will introduced me to Jeffrey. And, after Will got off, Jeffrey and I talked a lot about like the world of college football, the sports world, a lot of stuff like we're not talking about on air, but we talk a lot about off air. But he told me a little bit about his backstory, about how he became an Alabama fan, how he's been an Alabama fan his whole life, a North Carolina fan his whole life because of the fact that he's lived in North Carolina a lot of his life, and the fact that he's pulled for Indiana, about how Indiana is his feel bad team. And this was when Indiana was fighting for bowl eligibility in 2022, but didn't make it to a bowl game. And in 2023, I remember where they were going to overtime against Akron. And that was on Big Ten Network.
Yeah, and Tom Allen was running around the field like they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Should never be excited about beating Akron.
So what made you like Bama at 3 years old?
Because that was the first football team that I ever watched. My family loves Alabama football. And, I mean, it's dated back tons of generations. I've got a lot of extended family, and there's a few of them that like other teams in the SEC, because most of them are in the southern part of the U.S. There's a couple that like Tennessee. There's a couple that like Arkansas and Ole Miss, stuff like that. I think a couple like Mississippi State, because they went to there as well. So there's a lot of split ties, but like the vast majority of my family, especially on one side, loves Alabama. So it's like I grew up watching Alabama football before I even knew what a football was. It was just on the TV.
Okay,
I didn't really start like watching football like where I watched it and started picking to what I wanted to watch until I was like 8 or 9. But like, before that, it was just like Alabama was the only thing that was on, and that and Carolina basketball. UNC basketball was always on too. Sure. So I mean, that's why I like Carolina basketball and Alabama football. I mean, I irritate people all with the split liking and everything.
No, that's just like people liking Notre Dame football and IU basketball. Why do I like one school's both teams? But
I do now. I watch Carolina football and I watch Alabama basketball now, but I used to not when I was younger. Yeah, I mean, it's just the way that it was.
Anyway, topic number 2. I am calling Michigan a level 3 hazmat situation right now, which is the worst hazmat situation. That is an absolute mess, because not only did they do the crew, there's 3 stories in journalism at school they taught us. One per side A story, side B story, and side C story. Side C story is the actual truth. When are we going to hear the actual? We've already heard side B. When are we going to hear side A and then hear side C?
I'm letting Jackson respond to that.
Oh, sorry, I was responding to the comments in the chat. What was the question?
When we used to journalism school, they taught us there's 3 sides to. You know how you say there's always 2 sides to every story, where there's actually 3. Side A, side B, side C. Side A is the one person's story. Side B is the other person's story. Side C is the truth. We've already heard side B. When we're going to see side A and side C.
I believe that.
I mean, it just depends like what gets out, I mean, will we ever hear about?
Yeah, and I hope he gets the help he needs. But like the real was saying earlier, I think he's done coaching. With that situation, not even in high school, he doesn't need to coach. But my other thing I'm trying to figure out, topic 3, is this. Put any other team number 9 in the country. They get smoked in the conference championship. Do they stay or do they fall?
I think the conference titles fall.
Okay. And see, this is why it's name recognition. Bama. They get smoked. Any other team, they would have fell out of the top 12. And I'm not a Notre Dame basher. But I can see their side of the story. Why was it Alabama not dropped? In your guys' opinion? What if it was any other team?
I don't know. I mean, Alabama should have dropped. I mean, they should have. I mean, the way they played, they got murdered. It was a terrible game. Notre Dame should have gotten the playoffs. I'm just gonna keep saying it's.
But
making people
I will
mad,
say this
but,
though, I blame that on Virginia for not taking care of business with Duke.
God, that game, like, go ahead, Austin.
I was just gonna say real fast. I'm like, why is everyone fussing? This is a good thing because now we will get more of these games that actually count. The Miami Notre Dame, the fact that they put Miami in is a good thing because that means they are valuing your head to head. That's a good thing. That means, Jackson, you get more of what you want out of college football. You get more Georgias and you get Ohio State games. You get more of these big time non-conference games that could mean something instead of playing these cupcakes. Like, I hear people complaining. I understand why it's a little fishy, but don't
it is
you
a
think?
little fishy because Notre Dame was ranked ahead of them the entire season.
Well, and I'm hearing like that report from earlier today where it's
The MOU
athletic
report.
directors are talking about ostracizing Notre. It's like, okay, I don't think that's a true story. I'm not sure.
Do you believe the MOU?
Huh?
Do you believe the MOU? The
MOU?
memorandum that Notre Dame supposedly has with the college football playoff committee?
No, I don't believe that Notre Dame is screwed. I think a lot of teams that like do that whole we're fine without them. Like, and I'm talking about like the Wake Forests of the world and the Virginias of the world.
No, Jackson, what I'm talking about is the memorandum of understanding. You don't know about that?
The member of understanding.
No,
Memorandum
the
of
memorandum of understanding that Notre Dame came out with, saying if they're in the
Yeah,
top 12.
yeah. Where if they're still in the top 12,
they got to be in.
Yeah.
What a load of bleeping, you know what?
I agree. I mean, and here's the thing too with this. It's the committee even made this comment, and we should have known this, but they are right, whether we like it or not. So the thing was with this is, you remember when the first initial rankings came out, Miami was way below Notre Dame, and you remember everybody on that panel said, why is Miami down so low? They beat Notre Dame. And at the time, Michigan and USC were kind of right there with each other, and these other teams were right there that played head-to-head, and they were saying, Miami beat Notre Dame, so why are they falling that far? And then over the weeks, the committee's like, okay, we realized, oops, we effed up. So they fixed it. And then when Bama did what they did and BYU lost, you all could thank BYU for this. Like, everyone wants to blame Bama. If BYU would have won their conference championship, then now that they lost, they immediately went under. So now it's a comparison. Miami, Notre Dame. Well, we have to value the head-to-head. And I know, Jeffrey, what you're going to say. You're a broken record with this. That don't always matter because we have a big sample size. Notre Dame they got better.
Well, if I'm always a broken record than that, then everybody else is a broken record by saying the head-to-head is the only thing that matters. It's not. It just isn't. Miami lost to 2 unranked teams. Notre Dame lost to 2 top 15 teams. And the team that they lost to, that they're comparing, was in week 1. I don't understand.
And I mean, and here's the thing too. I've told this to Jackson, but You remember when I was telling you, is there a chance Bama could miss the playoffs if they lose to Georgia? And both of you told me, you said probably not. They'd have to lose by 3 touchdowns. And by golly, what happened? Georgia put you in a phone booth and took you to school. And I told Jackson, I said, you just gave the committee something to look at now. Right on the nose. You all jinxed it, Jeffrey. You were letting the committee make the decision for you.
Well, it didn't affect anything.
No.
We didn't move that spot.
No, but you left it in their hands, though, what you and Jackson wanted to avoid.
I agree with that. Yes. I thought we were going to move down at least a spot. I thought Notre Dame would be ahead, and then, it all just worked conveniently for them, man. Like, it all conveniently worked out. BYU lost. Bama lost. Which Bama losing didn't matter because they didn't even move down, but because they moved Bama ahead of Notre Dame for no reason when they beat Auburn by 7, whatever. But BYU lost, Virginia lost, and then it was like, oh, let's put an ACC team in there. I mean, it was just very convenient. It all very conveniently worked out.
Yeah, because I think if Virginia wins, Miami's out and Notre Dame's in.
And like I said, I wouldn't have been complaining about it if Miami was ranked ahead of Notre Dame the entire season.
No.
The reason that Miami fell to number 18, because people are like, oh, the drop was too far. The drop was not too far. They lost to 2 unranked teams.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Like no one.
Yeah, I mean,
no
like this guy right here is going to be talking about how many points each team scored versus each opponent. I could give no craps about that. That means nothing. That is completely irrelevant. Notre Dame statistically, the rest of the season played better football than Miami did, and that's not even debatable. Not even close. Miami looked terrible, and basically the entire middle portion of the season. I don't know why people are defending the use so hard. Like, it actually, like, the amount of people that are completely clowning on Notre Dame, why are people just so supportive of Miami? What did they do other than beat Notre Dame by 3 in a week 1 game to make people say that this team deserved to be in the college football playoff?
It's because of their we hate Notre Dame so bad. We'll defend.
But that's not even an argument.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So
I don't understand like the whole everyone should just refuse to play Notre Dame. Like I disagree. I disagree with you, Ghost Sitchos. I like you, dude. You're awesome. I do disagree.
People
with
just
that.
hate Notre Dame because they're not in a playoff. They're not in a conference.
Here's the thing.
Conference, and that is why people don't like them. They want them in a conference so Notre Dame can get exposed and lose all the games. The problem is that you're defending a Miami team that plays in a crappy league. So your logic is already broken. I mean, literally Notre Dame had a tougher schedule than Miami. It wasn't by a lot, but it was still a tougher schedule statistically. So that logic makes 0 sense.
Honestly, if Notre Dame was in the Big Ten, I feel like they would be fine. Like all these people that say Notre Dame
Oklahoma's fine. You remember when people said Oklahoma was going to go 6-6 every year in the SEC?
Where'd that go? Oh,
remember when people said Indiana was going to fall off this year and go 6-6? A lot of times people don't know what they're talking about, Jackson.
Exactly.
Guess what? Newsflash. Sometimes me and Jackson are wrong. And sometimes Austin's wrong. And Michael Hogg is wrong. And sometimes DeReal's wrong. And sometimes Godfather's wrong. And sometimes whoever the heck this guy is wrong. Sometimes we're all wrong. Like literally, sometimes we are all wrong.
Yeah.
But the difference is when you admit that you're wrong when you're wrong. Yeah. That's the difference. If you can't do that, then you're just on a whole other level of just because you have to be able to admit when you're wrong. But the thing is, nobody's giving me any argument that Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame because it's conveniently that it's always head-to-head. Give me another reason why Miami should be in over Notre Dame than that game. What other game? Tell me. What other game did Miami prove to the college football world that this team should be in the college football playoff.
They went to a hostile environment and beat Pittsburgh better than Notre Dame did.
That's because Miami played their starters the entire game. Notre Dame sat their starters in the second half. That's even an argument.
Yes, it is, because you would use it if it was the other way around. If it was for an Alabama or Indiana, it doesn't matter if they're playing their starters or their third stringers.
Shoot. Austin, IU, the only time IU played their starters during the regular season was during the Penn State and Oregon game. Other than that, they rested their starters in the second half.
And good for them. Miami was doing what they thought was necessary. That's what I'm getting at. Jeffrey wanted to know what has Miami done to prove other than head-to-head. They beat Pittsburgh and Stanford in convincing fashion more than Notre Dame did, and they looked impressive doing it.
Notre Dame beat Syracuse by 40 more points than Miami did.
No, but we're talking common opponents, though, Jeffrey.
Did Miami not play Syracuse?
I don't think so.
I think Miami did play him in November, although it was yeah.
Miami played Syracuse.
Miami did play Syracuse.
They beat Syracuse 38-10, but then a couple weeks later on NBC and on the Peacock app, Notre Dame won 70-7.
So why does that matter?
Are you asking me or in general?
Anybody who cares.
Okay.
I mean, like, scoring 70 points against an opponent is...
My point is that it doesn't matter. The point about the entire conversation is that Notre Dame should not have fallen behind Miami after being ranked ahead of them the entire season. I don't care who on the planet head-to-head should be ranked ahead. If that was the case, then after Miami lost to both Louisville and SMU, they should have kept them ahead of Notre Dame.
Here's the thing.
Which I disagree with, but whatever.
Here's the thing. We're not on the committee. We weren't in the room. But, Jeffrey, you're telling me when the initial rankings came out.
I don't think that nobody is buckling their chin strap before playing Miami in the college football playoff. Any of the teams that have a pulse. I literally don't think anybody – I think Georgia and Ohio State and the teams like that, when they play Miami, will be like, okay. Just completely destroy them.
Here's the thing, Jeffrey. This is all going to get validated, though, because if Miami beats Texas A&M and then they go on to beat Ohio State, and that's 2 wins right there that would validate them being right where they are. So they're going to get a chance to prove it, kind of like Alabama. Alabama's going to get a chance to get Oklahoma back. These teams that we think that are undeserving are going to get a chance to prove themselves. Now, if Bama gets beat in the first round, then we could start having the conversation of, okay, would Notre Dame have looked any different in that spot? Would Miami have looked any different? We're going to figure that out.
Let me ask you a question, Austin.
Okay.
Are you a believer that every single game in the season should be counted the same? Week 1 to week 14, like in your brain, like committee, people, brain, week 1, week 14, exact same.
Yes, it doesn't matter when you lose, whether it's week 1 or week 14, you still lost. That should count towards something. Shouldn't get you off scot-free. Can teams change? Yes. We've seen it that year with Alabama and Nick Saban last year. They lost to Texas in week 2 or 3.
Week 2.
Week 2, okay. It was one of those, but they got better along the way, and they were a different team. They adapted, evolved, and won the SEC and beat Georgia that year. But they still lost to Texas, so that should count for something, no matter if it was early in the year or not.
What about you, Jackson?
Hey, on the one hand, you got the head.
Do you agree more with me or do you agree more with Austin? If you agree more with Austin, I don't care. It's perfectly okay. But I'm just asking your opinion.
You have to look at the whole body of work. Like you said, it's all about the body of work, like you said, Jeffrey. the body of work.
Because, again, we lost to Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, based off the logic that Miami is in the playoffs because they beat Notre Dame in week 1, we should not be in the college football playoff because we lost to a 5-7 Florida State team in week 1.
I mean, you got a point there, but here's the thing.
I do have a point. And again, at least I am willing to look at all sides of this argument to still make my argument clear.
I'm not saying
if you're using your logic and you're using this guy who's said I'm a moron about 800 times tonight point, then Alabama should not be in the college football playoff because we lost a week 1 game to Florida State, a 5-7 football team. But I think we can all agree that Florida State peaked in that game, and it all went
downhill
from there. And Alabama got better until they didn't late. But in that 4-game stretch where we were beating all the top 25 teams, we looked pretty darn good until we weren't at the end. But that's my point, though. You're trying to tell me that a week 1 game counts the same as a week 14 game when it doesn't. Because if it did, Alabama would not be in the college football playoff right now.
I want to present this to you, and this might shed a little more light on it. You talk about that Florida State loss. That's a bad loss, right? I don't think anybody here would disagree with me on that, correct? That's a bad loss. Don't care who you are. That's a bad loss. But here's the thing. Bama beat Georgia in Athens into their home winning streak. They went on the road and beat LSU at home. They beat Vanderbilt. They beat Missouri. They beat all these good teams along the way. And they beat a gutsy Auburn team. Even though Auburn's didn't make a bowl game, they got invited to one because of what happened with Notre Dame. They still won that game. Alabama was able to rack up quality wins after that. What did Notre Dame do after those 2 losses, Jeffrey? Absolutely squat.
What do you mean? They ran 10 in a row off.
But who did they beat to get there, though, other than USC?
Other than USC. Well, what did Miami do after beating Notre Dame?
They lost to Louisville and SMU, but they beat.
What else did they do?
That's about it, Jeffrey.
That's what I'm trying to say. They didn't do anything either. Neither team did. My point is that the committee said Notre Dame was better than Miami the entire season until they won. That is what I'm saying.
Well, see, here's the thing, though.
You can't do that.
And I understand where you're coming from. I'm trying to understand your point of it, though, Jeffrey. But at the end of the day, when we get down to the brass tacks, it's one of them where the head-to-head won. At the end of the day, that's what won out.
Because they made it about that.
Whether we like it or not, Jeffrey, we weren't in that room. Me, you, Jackson, Michael, anyone in the chat, we weren't in that room. But at the end of the day, the head-to-head won out. They could no longer ignore it.
Flexing about having a winning record over A&M is not the flex you think it is. Okay. No. A&M is not – they've mostly been trash. Okay? I mean, they're like literally – Darrell made a great point earlier that Texas literally has a way better resume than Texas A&M by far. And if you're going off of resumes – Texas should be in the playoffs over Texas A&M. But that's not how that works because one team's got 3 losses and one team has 1. The only reason why your little head-to-head argument works is because both Miami and Notre Dame have 2 losses. They have the same amount of losses. If Miami had 3 losses and Notre Dame had 2, or Miami had 2 losses and Notre Dame had 1, and that goes the other way around. If Miami had 1 loss and Notre Dame had 2, then it'd be irrelevant.
See, here's the thing, Jerry.
Because they both had the same amount of losses, even though Miami's losses were significantly worse, that's why they made it matter. And again, if that's the case, then they should have had Miami ranked ahead of them the entire season.
See, I'm with you on that, Jeffrey. I'm with you. If Notre Dame is 10 and
It's
2,
sad that I have to spray it out that blatant because people just hear me and think that I'm just completely nuts. But when I start layering it all out there, I've got to calculus this thing, which is making my brain hurt. It's probably making everybody's brain hurt. It kind of starts to make sense if you let it.
yes,
What they did was wrong just now. What the committee did was wrong. I don't even care. I care about Will losing his $500. I think that blows. But the thing is, I don't give a flip about Notre Dame or Miami. I don't like either team. I don't care about either team. But what they did to achieve their little result the way that they got it was wrong. And I don't care how that you can't validate it. What they did was wrong. They should have never had Notre Dame ahead of Miami at all.
And now
Not
the community
once.
shooting themselves in the foot about it.
well, and here's the thing too. I agree with you, Jeffrey. I've always said this, even with Jackson. If Miami was 9 and 3, Notre Dame was 10 and 2, then yes, Notre Dame should be in the playoffs. Miami's 9 and 3. Sorry to tell you, Miami, you had your chance, but you blew it. But
I
since
do
that's
think that who you lose to matters, though.
depends. I mean, because there are good losses. I mean, think about this.
Notre Dame's losses are better than Miami's losses. That is the main comparative point.
Yes.
Because Alabama did not make the college football playoff last year because we had 2 really bad losses.
Yes.
And this year we got one really bad one that everyone is just excusing, which is convenient. And again, I understand it is very obviously why it's convenient that we just throw it out, but it's a really bad loss. But last year we had 2 really bad losses. There's no way that you could argue for us to be in the playoffs last year when we had losses to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, who were both bad last year. That's not, you can't even defend it.
Jeffrey, I don't think Vanderbilt was bad last year. Weren't they like 8 and 4 or 9 and 3?
No.
No, I think Vandy went 7 and 5.
Mhm.
But what I mean by good and bad loss, though, I want to explain that for anyone who doesn't realize what I'm saying. I know everyone here does, but Texas, Ohio State, right? Texas is blaming that their third loss on Ohio State, right? And I know that upsets Jackson, but that's what they're doing. Here's the thing. That's a good loss. Like, not many teams is going to go to Ohio State opening weekend to play the defending national champions with a freshman quarterback and walk out of there the way – not many teams. I don't think like Georgia would have done that. I don't think even Alabama would have done that. Indiana probably wouldn't have done that. So that's a good loss. Texas has nothing to be ashamed of. They can hold their head high. But what they are failing to mention is they lost to Florida. And I knew that was going to happen too because Florida was trying to save Billy Napier's job. And what happened? It didn't work. But people just excuse that, kind of like with the Bama thing, right?
You know what's problematic, though, Austin, is the fact that when you look at Texas and you look at how you competed or whatever you want to call that Ohio State Week 1 game, there was a stretch in the middle of the season where Texas, I don't even know how I can even describe it.
It was crap.
Yes. Like the Kentucky game, the Mississippi State game, the Florida game. What? Sark.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Okay.
Arch, what are you doing? And then late in the year, they started playing better. That is why I'm saying teams change and we cannot evaluate all these games the same. Because you want to go out there and say, and I'll be the first person to tell you Texas played like complete crap for the vast majority of their middle part of the season. But then later in the year, they played better.
Well, there is one thing I feel like, and I wish Alabama, Notre Dame, and Miami had done this. Just been like, you know what? We're going nowhere debating one another. We need just like let the playoff committee know, hey, you're having 3 of us fight one another, but you're not. You're just going ahead and putting in James Madison because they won their conference. Yeah, no, you know,
but they earned their right, though, good buddy
They
Jackson.
didn't
That's
do shit. That's
they
okay.
earned their right. You can only play.
How many questions are you want to wall? It comes down to 3 letters.
Like,
You know what those 3 letters are?
WIN.
Nope. ACC.
Oh Lord. Well, and that's the thing though is, I think like the committee, they realized by getting everybody, they realized if Alabama, Miami weren't in, they realized they were pissing off the ACC, and they realized they were pissing off the SEC, and
So-
public opinion would go against them.
So-
And they thought, you know what, we keep Notre Dame out, no big deal. I mean, everybody hates Notre Dame anyway, and our hands are clean. We'll just have everybody mad at one another.
Yeah.
So-
Virginia, go ahead, Austin.
Oh, I was just gonna say, too. I know a lot of people say this, but I know we're pitting Notre Dame against Miami. But what percentage of everyone here, how much of it do we actually think it was actually Alabama versus Notre Dame in that committee room? Because
a lot, 100% was. No, actually, I think that's more like 20%. I think the 80% was Miami Notre Dame, because the fact that if you went on the ACC network, they were constantly rerunning Miami Notre Dame, Miami Notre Dame, Miami Notre Dame.
It's sick. I mean, the thing is, it's like you find one scenario every single year where head to head.
Well, here's what
it happens every time, and it's like good for you that you have a cop out way of determining who's a better team. Which again, I will repreface by saying for the 800th time, you should have had Miami ranked ahead of them the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. That's what they should have done, but they didn't. So it's just so convenient that they were able to do that. Like,
you know
again,
what,
I think a lot of people don't get that. I really don't care about the Notre Dame Miami thing that much. As much as I've gone off about it, I really don't care. I care a little bit for my good friend Will. I do care because that sucks for him. But other than that, I really don't care. I just think the way that it was handled was very bogus. And I just like to point out the opposite opinion, because everybody has to have the same opinion for some reason, it seems. And I'm just like, no, we don't have to all have the same opinion. I'm not saying that head-to-head shouldn't matter at all. I don't think it should be the be-all in it. There's a big difference. But again, that it's just too much for some people, I guess. It's just too much to have another opinion other than the opinion. It's okay to have another opinion. Like Jackson, it is okay for Jackson to like Penn State Pitt, even though no one else cares. Even I really don't give a crap, but he cares, and I respect him for it.
Yeah, because I want the state of Pennsylvania to realize what they're missing out on. Anyway, what NBC should have done, in my opinion, was make sure to put all their Notre Dame games on YouTube, right? On their NBC Sports YouTube channel. Like the other 10 games, like where they went on that 10-game win streak. Because, I mean, if ESPN's making it clear, this is what we're going to do to Notre Dame, just kind of like have Miami rerun the week 1 victory over Notre Dame and all that stuff, well, then we're going to do it right back. The hell with our other, the hell with that Reba sitcom, or I forget what the name is, where she's like 30 years older than her 20-year-old sister on that new sitcom.
Happy Spike Jackson.
Anyway, my thing, and I'm going to teach you guys out because I disagree totally with you guys. I'm telling you, it was Duke that screwed Notre Dame.
Yeah,
because Virginia wins, it's too late in the CFP. No, I mean not. Or was it JMU? Would not be in. James Madison would not be in, and Notre Dame would be in, and Miami would be on the outside looking in. Simply put, is that. That's how it is.
Well, and here's the funny thing about it too. I was watching Nightcap the other night, and this is kind of funny. I shared this with Jackson, but it kind of rings true. You hear everyone online now. No one's really fussing at Miami. Everyone's kind of like, good. Miami should be in. They beat Notre Dame. They put foots to them, as Uncle Shake likes to say. But here's the funny part about it all is they're saying Notre Dame needs to join a conference. Notre Dame needs to get their butt in the Big Ten
When
or SEC.
literally Notre Dame had a tougher strength of schedule than Miami.
And that's the thing. And he kept saying they need to join a conference. And then of course he went on about they thought they were going to get in the Alabama Invitational. Oh no! This is the Bama Invitational, folks. So even Uncle Shay and company are making fun of how Bama. They're calling it the Bama Invitational. Still,
well, Shay.
How's it the Bama Invitational when there's 12 teams in it?
Oh, I
don't think all 12 teams are out.
I don't worry about Club Shay. I think he's got great shows. Don't get me wrong, but he's a dumbass when he says stupid shit like that.
Have a great show.
Times. That's why they call it the Bama Invitational.
Well, I mean, Cat Williams.
That was great, Jackson.
Cat Williams warned him about being a dumbass in January 2024. He warned him about that. So,
but like Jackson's getting sick of it, I know. But what do y'all think? Do you?
I could care less about Shannon. Like, he's a great guy. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. But unfortunately, there's a reason why he lost his job at ESPN. He can't keep it in his pants for starters. I think honestly he talks too much, but if he's really smart, he needs to be getting his former teammate John Elway on his Club Shay show, honestly. But
I want to run this one more idea by you guys before we go for the night. And I want Jeffrey on it, Jackson, because you kind of gave me yours. You thought it could be something. Jeffrey, what do you think about a college football play-in tournament? The last four teams out on the bubble play one another, and then the winners play each other, and then the winner gets the last spot. What do you think? So this year it would have been BYU, Notre Dame, Utah, and Vandy.
That worked.
I would have been Utah over Utah instead of Texas. What? Or are you going by the rankings? Because I'm trying to think where was Texas ranked in the final ranking.
I think they were they just outside the Final Four? Or were they in the Final Four?
Oh, yeah. Hold on one sec. Bia Raider still is asking, when are you guys on again? We're usually on. Jeffrey and I are on together with Travion Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central time. I don't know what time zone you're in, Raider still, but that's when we're on Monday nights. You also see Travion and I for Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And the call-in show that you're commenting on tonight, the call-in show right here is at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday nights. And
I definitely cannot wait to revisit this next week, and do appreciate that. Despite, I appreciate it. Thank you for being here, and yeah, it has been a lot of fun.
We'll make
At the end of the day, a lot of this is fun. We have a great time debating, arguing, going off about all this stuff, and at the end of the day, all of our stuff is opinions, right? My opinion could be wrong. Y'all's opinion could be wrong. We both could be wrong. Everybody could be wrong. I have no idea. I just state what I feel. Everybody else states what they feel. That's what makes the stuff fun. So we appreciate it.
Well, and for the record, it would be BYU, Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, and Texas was the Final Four. It was,
yeah, a little bubble then.
Man, I want to see Catholics versus Mormons. I hate that we didn't get that with the Pop-Tart Bowl, but oh well. That is another.
They should have played in the game. They should have played in the game. That was really dumb to opt out.
Yes. I mean, it's like I'm worried that we're going to be seeing more of that in the year.
They're going to have to force them to play. Take some of the NIL away. Take some of the a lot of the school revenue away if they don't play. I don't know if it'd be feasible to do that. If they don't do that, though, then all the teams are going to keep opting out.
Exactly. Do that, or better yet, make sure that some of the TV networks either cut some of the ball games out, or have CBS air a few of the other ball games. Have Fox air a few of the other ball games. Have NBC air a few of the other
they,
ball games.
They don't want to lose their grip on that.
Well, Jackson, we can't cut the little guys out, though, because that would be the problem. They cut the little guys out.
Well, the LA Bowl this year, after this year, it's getting cut out, unfortunately, and they know that.
Poor teams. Like, because I feel bad for the smaller schools like the Troys and the Jacksonville States. Like, so a lot of those players will not be pros on Sunday. So that's their last real chance to play football. That's what sucks about if they really.
This year, LA Bowl is the last one. And I got a feeling that's not the last bowl game getting cut.
Oh, no. What have you done, NIL?
Yep.
See, now we're all on the same page. This is when it hits home.
Yep.
See, I thought this would be something like.
Just get my butt in the scheduling department and just kind of get me in the TV deal room.
See, I was just thinking, maybe this would be good for like when you're on a video game cover in a commercial, just pay them. I wasn't expected to go this far, Jeffrey, but they've taken this too far. They're taking what we love.
The original intent of NIL was fine. What it's become and what most people knew it would is bad.
We need to take a stand against this. Jackson, you're just the man we're looking for. You could be the head leader, you and Jeffrey. We need to take a stand.
Me?
Make rivalries great again, good buddy. We'll put Penn State. How about some Maryland?
Somebody got to be a commissioner first, and I got to make sure to apply for the position first, like wherever they're hired. Just be like, whoever's going to be the commissioner of college football. That's where I'm going to come.
We'll make Mark the commissioner. He'll be a good commish.
That'll be fine.
And Jeffrey could be a secretary.
Yeah, I don't think there would be any issues like Frosty.
Happy birthday!
Jeffrey, I know we're tonight, but we didn't need that.
That was a great joke, though. It applies to that team. That was a good joke. It would be an honor to be a secretary for the commissioner of college football if we had a great one like Mark Rogers. That would be great.
There you go.
I don't think it's going to happen.
That's why
that would be great.
That's why Monday night was the debut of the nicknames for Matt Zimick and Mark Rogers, the great ones. We dubbed them as the great ones.
That would be the director of communications.
Huh?
I said that would be the director of communications.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go. See, now we're cooking with gas. There we go.
No, not bad. No, I was just wondering. So, are you guys following Bama basketball?
Jeffrey's really watching a lot of basketball. I do my best with it.
I've been watching some, but I've been busy.
But I will.
I've been doing a lot. I've been doing a lot. I haven't had a lot of time to be on here.
I am watching
Bama basketball under the weather, so I've watched some, but I don't know everything that's going on. But what were you saying, Jackson?
Well, I was saying I do watch a little bit of Bama basketball, and I've been finding out that Bama women's basketball is unbeaten. So that's
they are undefeated.
I gotta do better about really watching women's basketball, especially when we're winning. So it's like, there you go. And we get a chance against number 1 Arizona. Screw them Wildcats. We're gonna upset the Wildcats. Let's go.
Yeah. After you guys shoot 43s and maybe hit 8 of them. I keep telling people.
Hammer, jammer, yellow hammer. Give them hell, Alabama.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm telling you, that's a good team, but they shoot way too many threes, man.
Oh man, I just gave my 5-minute energy for the night, so it's like there you go.
Yeah, I'm about out of gas.
So it's like,
yeah, So Jeffrey, are you still in your second gap year, or are you in school right now?
Wrapping it up right now.
So
Semester.
sports media.
It's in the works. We'll
So you haven't
I'll
picked
figure it out.
Yeah,
So
he's
you
in
had-
communications.
So you haven't. So you're an undeclared major right now.
I'm figuring it out.
No,
Well,
you'll
I
get
can
to
tell
it.
you this. He's a freaking magician on only talk sports and on Alabama at the Voice of College
I
Football.
appreciate it, Michael. It's going good.
I'm glad to hear that, man.
And
I hope
It's going better on
it
my
all
end.
works out. I mean, I love doing this stuff. You know, I don't know. You know, anything's possible. You know, like in the future, I don't know. I mean, regardless of whatever happens, I'll probably keep doing this stuff on here. You know, some capacity. You know, even if life gets in the way where he's too busy, I'm trying to keep going. You know, you can't make any promises, but definitely, you know, I enjoy doing this stuff though, but in some capacity, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, but if it's a full-time career, it'd be great too. You know.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
well, he's that damn good at what he does. He can make it a full-time career.
Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting to see what goes on in Norman, Oklahoma next Friday night. See if they can make it 3 in a row. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been saying for the last week and stuff like that. The national championship is gonna be a rematch of the Big Ten championship.
It could happen. It definitely could happen. I mean,
hope
Georgia might
not.
try to spoil, but it definitely could happen.
And if that happens, do you think the tide's completely turned as far as who's the dominating conference, or are people still gonna say it's SEC? I mean, because you could potentially have 3 national champions from 3 different schools in 3 years in a row. If it happens.
It's a good point. I mean,
There we go.
it's more of the depth. I think they just keep talking about the SEC's depth. You know, the Big Ten, only really good at the top. SEC's got more depth, but I don't even know, man. I think the SEC's still better as a whole, but the Big Ten at the top has been better recently.
Yeah.
True. Well, Michael Hogg, we'll let you
I'm
go.
gonna let you go. All right, so I got to try to figure out how to do this for next Friday night.
There you go.
Because you got Mark's stream going on at the same time, and you guys gonna have your stream going on at the same time.
Yeah, I was when I got back to the office, I was getting a call from Darrell, and I got a call from the boss himself about the internet going down on Mark's show. So it's I was like, oh, somebody shut the show down tonight. So I was like, oh, okay, somebody came in. So okay. So
all right,
they got in right on time.
All right, guys. Hey, regardless and stuff like that, make yourself well. I know Jackson's usually in the stream because he's typing Jeffrey. Who knows? There's still a missing person report I need for Mark's stream.
Yeah, I gotta get back over there.
I know, but you got more on your plate because you probably got a lot of finals next week too, man. So best of luck in school, and like I said, man,
I appreciate it.
All right, man, I'm gonna get out of here because I know you guys probably want to get out of here till. So, are you both? Well, Jeffrey, you or Jackson? Are you Central or are you Eastern?
I'm in Central Time, but Jeffrey's in the Eastern Time.
Because Jeffrey's in the same time, but in North Carolina, part of it in Central also.
No, the entire state of North Carolina is Eastern. It becomes Central around a little west of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah. There's parts of Tennessee that are Eastern, and a lot of it is Central.
Yeah, like Gatlinburg, Sevierville, Johnson City. That's Eastern.
Sometimes I wish every state and every place at the same time. That way, I would not be confused.
Yeah,
it'd be very hard to draw that line. It'd be like, even though the lines are all squiggly anyway, it'd be really.
That's just like Indiana, the region, the northwest and the southwest part of the state. It's Central. Everybody else is in Eastern.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like in Tennessee, and then it just goes like this. It starts curving. So like more up there is Eastern than it is in the South. Yeah. It's strange.
Man.
All right, guys. I'm gonna bounce. Thanks for letting me be part of the stream. I appreciate it. And if I don't talk to you guys next week, Merry Christmas to you and your families.
Appreciate it, Michael. You have a Merry Christmas as well, and I appreciate it a lot.
Yep. And there's some Hoosier fans who do watch you still think you're a traitor.
Well,
All right, Jeff.
I'm not a traitor. I'm not a traitor. I love the Hoosiers, but it's roll tide roll, man. It's always gonna be roll tide roll.
All right, guys. Later. Have a good one, man.
You have a great night.
Oh man, that was a great show.
Great
tonight.
show, man. I'm glad I was able to come on tonight. I still don't feel great, but it was great. Had a great time. Everybody was awesome. And again, I get passionate about this stuff because I love talking about this stuff, but like I love the back and forth. I thought like at the end it was really cool how like we felt like we made up with this guy. Like if you want to call it that. Like we were going back and forth. It was getting heated, but you know what? It's like it's all good at the end of the day. It's football. We had a great time. I enjoyed it. Appreciate it a lot, everybody. Appreciate the super chat as well earlier.
We appreciate
I know Jack's about to do his spill and all that stuff at the end, but it was a great show. I appreciate everybody.
Oh man. Well, it was like, and my bad on leaving Jeffrey on the babysitting duties for those 20, 30 minutes. So
oh, you're good, man. You had to do what you had to do. You're good.
Yeah, because but all the same, it's but I can promise you this. It's like it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a fun time, a good time for a long time. All right here on Alabama, the Voice of College Football, as we've got more magic coming your way, including for Oklahoma Week. You're definitely gonna be seeing Josh Mahler running it back with us. I think you'll definitely see the Center Smiths. I'm not sure, but I'll make sure to go talk with them. But I wanted to make sure I was checking on Chad and all them because he was recovering from surgery and all that. That's why they didn't have Center Smith's show on Monday. So I just want to make sure he and Tierney are doing all right. It's like I always like check on everybody. It makes me feel. It makes me realize I always like to do the right thing. It makes me feel pretty good. Makes me sleep well at night. Enough about me, though. What have you got going on, good buddy?
Yeah, I haven't had any shows in a week, so I don't know. I'll try to have content coming soon. Me and Will probably be going live soon, I'm sure, to talk about the playoff games and first round games, some of the bowl games that are irrelevant now, sadly, and talk about some of the other things that are going on. So, like the Sharon more. I'm sure we'll talk about all that, even though we touched a lot of it tonight.
Sharon's a pervert.
But I definitely can't wait to do that. I'll have more content coming down the pipe. If I get more time, I'll try to do some live streams more frequently. But I mean, it's just I gotta have the time. I don't have the time. It's just it is what it is. But definitely appreciate everybody. Thank you, Steven Cherry. Always love chatting with you, Steven. But I'll definitely have more content on my YouTube channel. If you enjoy watching this show, I'm pretty sure you maybe would like watching on Only Talk Sports as well. So definitely appreciate if you check it out. Also follow me on X as well. But most importantly, subscribe to Alabama's Voice of College Football. We just passed 3,000 subs about a month and a half ago. We appreciate the support. Doesn't matter if you're an Alabama fan or not. Any fans are welcome.
Come on in.
And we appreciate it.
And you can also check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where tomorrow at noon Central Time, I'll be filming with Rock and Rant from CFB Express discussing Miami Notre Dame, the ACC, the Miami Hurricanes going up against the Texas A&M Aggies, and the world of college football from his point of view. All right there on episode, I believe it's episode 92 of the Jackson, but that's also going to be the first episode where I'm debuting my new logo because it's going to be a good time for a long time. And also, I'll be filming some stuff on SEC at the Voice of College Football. And you can also check out Monday's edition where I was joined by Jake Crane of Crane & Company and Adam Spence Wednesday night. And that was a fun ride on SEC at the Voice of College Football. And for more updates, what I've got going on in my world and on Jackson's World College Football with Locked On West Virginia's Mountaineer Paul, and on the once week, twice week calls on the Fine Ball Show, check me out on Jackson VOCFB on @/Twitter. And on Instagram, that's Jackson Johnson 543908. I promise you I will change that Instagram handle. And with that being said, we wish you all a happy Thursday night. Thank you all for coming in to another wonderful show of Alabama with the Voice of College Football. And to like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell down below. Share this link to your friends, family, and cashiers of Publix so you never miss no video whatsoever. And we will see you soon. And roll
Time.